Hello, Riot Wolves. Welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade: Shadows of New York. And we're gonna aim for the good ending. Well, Torque's work is our best shot at making sure they won't get it higher, so boo fucking who. I'm his right-hand woman, though you got any questions, direct them toward me. Maybe you two should just head to Callahan's office. Discussion here doesn't seem to be going in the right direction, nor a particularly interesting one. You're not coming? Torque and you are the only ones who have their work cut out for them tonight. I trust you can take it from here. And may not be easy, Your Honor. In slightly different circumstances, I expect the two of you would have ended up on the same side of the barricades. Uh-huh. Take care. She heads back to her vehicle. Well, follow me. I'll show you this place. The 19th century style office. Classical, wooden, smelly. The stuffy air of books, old furniture, and dust covers much of the fragrance of decay, but not all of it. For the first time, I've seen the remains of a vampire who has met final death. I heard many stories of how old kindred crumbled to dust, but that's an exaggeration. At least it didn't happen here. When kindred die, time catches up with them. If you offered me right now, I'd probably turn into an ugly, leaky corpse, but Callahan was well over a century old. It's like looking at a dapper mummy. A desiccated body in a heap of musty clothing. All that is left of the mighty boss Douglas Callahan, Anarch Baron of New York City, if that's really him. Needless to say, it might be a little hard to establish a time of death or the cause, especially as his garb doesn't have any obvious damage. What a great place to start. Have you found anything suspicious already? Nothing you don't see in front of you? Uh-huh. This door is the only point of entry in the room, right? Yes, unless you count the windows, but nobody except for Callahan knew how to operate those. They don't let air or light through. Metal blinders on the windows facing east, the only modern element of the room, sticking out like a sore thumb. They look automated. Was this the door open when Torque got here? Well, that's the one suspicious thing. It wasn't. It's as if Callahan locked himself inside of himself in from the inside. A closed room murder, huh? There's some glass shattered on the floor. I point at it. Could that be from the window? I checked it from the outside. It's in a perfect condition. So what's this glass? I have no idea. Why does it seem like she has her suspicions, but is remaining uncooperative just because of fuck off camera scum? I checked the point of interest. A wall safe, surprisingly large. Play with the lock a bit. What's the combination? It's Callahan's. What makes you think I know? At least I tried. A desk with nothing but an envelope on it. Nothing inside. Check all the drawers. Every single one of them has been thoroughly emptied. Don't know what I expected. Is this how anarchs go around securing crime scenes? Were these emptied before Torque arrived? I don't know, but I wouldn't accuse him of tampering with evidence if I were you. Well, thank you. The decor in the room is pretty minimal. So, there's not a lot of points of interest that could illuminate the case. I start getting nervous. I point to the painting on the wall. Of course, you have no idea who that is. Callahan's ancestor, I guess? Hi, Ball Lightning. I'm playing Vampire the Masquerade: Shadows of New York. A very good visual novel. I'm out of ideas. Everything I look at feels like another dead end. I'm frustrated and I feel as if I started this investigation before it has even started. There must be something more. I start walking around trying to find a single clue. Mia just watches me with indifference. Give me anything. Anything, goddammit. Anything, Annie. A shadow blinks in and out of existence near Callahan's remains. I freeze in place. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of me. The only thing I'm afraid of is you wasting too much of my time. Doesn't seem like Mia noticed it. Give me a moment more. She groans in her nose, goes back to messaging someone on her phone. When she does, the shadow appears again. Once again, blink in and out. Could something be there? I approach the clothes and start searching them for a clue. Maybe they're missing something. Getting desperate, huh? Just being thorough. We searched the bathroom like 3 times. He had nothing of interest on him. How about this? A small card, barely noticeable. Looks a bit like a shopping list. It's shoved deep into an almost invisible hole in the fabric. I take it out and show it to Mia. Huh, you didn't plant that there, did you? No, did you? Shove off what's on it. It's a list of 4 names. D'Angelo, Hope, Agathan, and Tamika. Any idea what this is about? Beats me. She's lying, but I don't care. Tomorrow night, I will meet up with Kadir and ask him to help me figure it out. Think I'm done here. Don't let the door hit you on your way out. Guess she sees me as nothing more than an enemy agent. Well, when will I get to meet with Torque? If, and that's a big if, he will agree to meet with you on a one-on-one basis, Catherine will let you know. He probably won't let a loyal camera lapdog like you see him without her oversight anyway. Camera lapdog, huh? It's a risky play, of course. Might backfire, but maybe it'd benefit if I put my loyalty according to question. A camera lapdog? I don't think so. A camera lapdog, please. Well, aren't you? Trust me, I'm not the type who bites the hand that feeds her, but the court's favorite pastime is leaving me starred. Ah, so it's like that, huh? Yeah. She studies me carefully. I will keep that in mind depending on how the situation unfolds. Good. In the meantime, have a good night. Oops! I don't think I meant to do that. I don't want to think. I want to turn off my brain. I want to drift into the void. Into the void, into the void, into the void. Julia's traits, loyal only to myself. Nice. You have received your first trait. Some choices in the game will push Julia toward different ways of thinking, which will have a lasting effect on her throughout the story. You will see a brief pop-up in the top of the screen anytime you receive a new trait. You can always view any unlocked traits in the log screen, accessed through the top left-hand corner. Remember that ruthlessness is the mark of a true Sombra, but you might rock another path before reaching that destination. I always told you you'd make it big. Get real, these assholes are just using me as a pawn in some stupid 4th-dimensional chess game. As opposed to just keeping you off the chessboard, don't be a glass half-empty buzzkill. Watch them make me a scapegoat or something. That would be exciting. I could write a book about living with a 21st century Lee Harvey Oswald. Come on, don't even joke like that. I haven't killed anyone. Julia, honey, neither did Oswald. Yeah, right, I keep forgetting. Stop wiggling, or I'll mess up your face. Hello, Lion King. As you can see, we are back to Vampire the Masquerade, Shadows in the New York. Sorry. But I'm always obedient when she's busy working on my makeup. It's hard to take care of your appearance, especially your face, when you can't even see yourself in a mirror. Not that I've been particularly good at it, but Dakota doesn't seem to mind. I'm her goth dress-up doll. Her presence in my own life is one of the few good things that my sire provided for me before fucking off to Chicago. Normally I'd be told to find myself a goal, but many of our clan, including myself, find the idea of ghouls distasteful. We're cat people, not dog people. We don't want mindlessly faithful servants, we want companions who rely on us, despite having, in theory, the free will not to. The kind of relationship I have to Dakota would normally be a breach of the Masquerade's rules, but the rules are different for kindred who are Camarilla adjacent, even losers like me. Simplifying here, but my sire made it clear that her child would not own slaves. That was the end of the discussion. To be honest, I think the court mostly agreed with that request because they wanted one more thing to blackmail me with, just in case. What would you do in my place? If I had to investigate your elite's wrongdoings? Yeah. I'd probably look for those rich fucks' pedophile rings. Look for the assholes who mention pizza suspiciously often. See who has powerful friends in Manhattan jail, stuff like that. Oh, come on. No, I'm serious. Search for the deep rot, and all the smaller crimes will get solved in the process. What is it with you and conspiracy theories? What do you mean? You just told me your bosses are having eyes wide shut parties, and suddenly you don't believe in rich people's pedophile rings? I don't know. I don't know if I want to know. My point is, you act as if all conspiracy theories are real. Like you can't possibly believe all of that shit. Half of it doesn't even make sense. Well, you want an interesting answer or a real answer? The real answer should be the more interesting one. She removes her blush from my face to gather her thoughts. Everyone's lost nowadays. Just look at the world. It's drowning in facts that fail to cohere into a single convincing narrative or a story that resonates. Corporate media wants you to believe in empirical thinking, but it always fails to deliver moral or metaphysical truths. And the people desperately lack those. So what do? They turn to conspiracists. And suddenly they are able to navigate the world. And why is that? Because conspiracy theories give them emotional truths that serve as a compass. Is Bill Gates trying to insert satanic microchips into my body? Probably not. I hope not. Now, is he a terrible person? No idea, but there's ample evidence that might be the case. It's in his ruthless business strategies, the company he used to keep, the philosophies he follows. People look at him and they feel he's fishy, so when the media presents him as a genius or a savior, and I post that he wants to make the mark of the beast on my body, they choose to believe me. That makes moral, emotional, and metaphysical sense to them, and ultimately that's what matters most. The end. Okay, I think I get it. Wow, I'm 99% sure this isn't complete bullshit, but I'm buying it. I mean, it's totally misrepresents most conspiracy nut jobs I knew, but it's interesting and fun to think about, so I don't really give a damn if it's the truth. See, that's the idea. You get it. You came up with this monologue yourself? Oh no, I read it on Facebook. Oh, figures. But just to make sure, vaccines are okay. Well, as far as I know, they don't cause autism. Indeed they don't. The amount of people who I know who are convinced of that wholeheartedly and is amazing. Anyway, I'm done. You're the best. Yeah, considering how many times I've done makeup on a dead body, I probably have enough job experience to be a mortician by now. That sounds like an exciting career, but in reality, it's probably the most boring thing under the sun. Yeah, I like my corpses talkative, pouty, and self-loathing. Shut up, this carcass will be leaving now. It's got a job to do. Go get him, Tiger. First thing I need to do, meet up with Kadir tonight and report to him. I hope he knows how to guide me out of this mess. You should have time for me in an hour or two. In the meantime, I suppose it's time for me to find some, what's the most dehumanizing word I could use here? Nourishment. Kadir told me that I need to quench my hunger less often. If I didn't smoke, I need to quench my hunger less often if I didn't smoke. It kills you, he says. But to start killing itself, your organism must pretend it's alive. And that uses up precious vitae. But I love cigarettes. The way they smell, the way they burn. The hot ash falling from the top, the sound of the lighter. The way they kill you, of course. And I guess I need some tactile connection to who I was back when I was alive. Okay, New York City, guide my steps, show me which one of your children I should drink up tonight. Diva's Delight, a fitting name for a kiss addict audacious enough to openly pitch her unique taste to those in the know. I'm not in a clubbing mood, but since I feel the need to feed, I might as well give that rumor a shot. A slap on the wrist. Samira's asked me to meet her. If not for ongoing celebrations, Patrician would prove an odd choice for a secret rendezvous. Here's hoping she could provide some insight into the case. Bonnie as a reporter. An odd note left at my old dead end drop reads. Bunny as a reporter, shit. It could be Woods? Long time no see. What does the one who do when the ghost of Christmas past knocks on her door? A clean-cut staff member dressed in a pickable company uniform smiles at me as the elevator door opens. Good evening, ma'am. Meeting someone? I dismiss his question with an apathetic shrug. He sizes me up for a brief moment, visibly questioning my fashion sense. However, his professional acumen quickly trumps his discontent. Very well. This way, please. NYC's Nouveau Riche. Seem awfully hungry for gourmet soup this late at night. The petition is packed almost to the brim. The concierge points me over to the last vacant table, conveniently situated to the far-off corner of the main hall. I nestle in the chair, letting my elbows rest on the ornate tablecloth. Watch out, oblivious white collars. There's a black widow in your midst. Well, I'm here. Might as well kick back and die of boredom. Yeah. I really need something to occupy my time. Call the concierge. Quick glance at the nearby grandfather clock simply stupefies me. 10 minutes have passed since my arrival, but it feels like I've been sitting here for at least an hour. Enough's enough. I wave the concierge, inadvertently making a scene. Might as well bring some much-needed Philistine vibes to this place. Hey, buddy. Yeah, you. Concierge quickly closes in on me, dancing habitually between the tables, addressing me before I can even utter a word. Excuse me, ma'am, are you Miss Sawansky by any chance? As soon as I nod, he hands me a carefully folded memo and leaves. The note reads, the manager of this establishment insulted the Camarella's authority with his negligence, and even though it's a minor, his transgression must be penalized. I would like you to assist me in this matter. Such a display of goodwill on your part would surely improve your standing with the higher-ups. Choose an appropriate non-lethal punishment. S. Well, this is disappointing. It was high order I expected any help with an investigation, I guess. Said just another chore. The best I can hope for is that this really is just a friendly request, not a deliberate attempt to derail my work this early in the game. Ah, damn it. Well, might as well get this done, since I'm already here, and so I can move on to more pressing stuff. Slowly approach the manager and tap him on the shoulder. His brow furrows his brow as soon as he notices me. I'm afraid I'm busy. One of the waitstaff should be able to. I have something to discuss. The VIP lounge, now, if you please. His face loses color. Maybe it dawned on him that I am even paler than the other, more blue-blooded guests. He immediately becomes compliant as I escort him through the side door. The room isn't empty, but its guests are just leaving. Nobody pays me any attention. The manager is as polite as he can be as he sees the patrons out. But I can see he's clearly losing his shit. He quietly asks one of his staff to give him 5 minutes in the lounge, and generally she closes the door behind him. Then the pleading starts. Listen, I know I screwed up. I shouldn't have let him in. How could I know he's not one of the proper clients? Listen, I don't give a... Hey, listen, hey! I would never... I implore you, I have children, for Christ's sake. There must be something, an arrangement, a way to... He just goes on as if I'm not even here. With each subsequent whimper, he becomes more and more irritating. Lash out. I've had enough of this bullshit. I grab him by the back of his head and smash it down on the bar. Then I throw him on the small but stout coffee table nearby. I take out a soup ladle from the kitchen, his fancy kettle it was served in, and then smack the guy around. It doesn't look nice and lasts way longer than it needs to. With every hit, he whimpers, grow quieter. I only come to my senses once he chokes on a sob. I look down at him. He's just lying there wheezing after the unjust thrashing. I throw away the bloodied utensil and get out of there as fast as I can. I don't really know what's happening back there. I acted on instinct. Karen warned me that something in our bloodline finds sniveling weaklings detestable. If that's what triggered me, well, that's something to worry about in the future, but no use dwelling on it for now. I did what I was asked, and I'm sure as hell wasted enough time here. That's all, folks. Diva's Delight. No blood, no matter how exquisite, is worth suffering through this noise. Something terrible must have happened to the previous GJ. It had to be sudden and unexpected for them to hire this amateur under the wire. Zero ability to read the crowd, no sense of flow, as if the constant flashing wasn't migraine-inducing enough by itself. Not that I remember how an ordinary headache feels. I know the hunger though, which is why I'm here tonight. A purple-haired girl bumps into me, head down, tears flowing down her cheek, hands trembling. As much as I understand it, I don't think it's the guy at the turntables that made her like this. Oof. Oh, I'm sorry. So sorry. She bolts before I can say a single word. Well, who am I to blame her? A tactical retreat probably felt like a good idea. The trace of cheap booze in every potential vessel is faint, but ever present. At this point, the smell is all I'm getting. Come to think of it, I can barely remember how alcohol tastes. Maybe I should remind myself. Nah, that's dumb. But the bar's pretty much free of people at the moment. I get closer and take a peek at the drink menu. There are some goofy fucking names, especially from a kindred's perspective. Order of the Vampiro. After a short while, the cracking of the ice cube announces the arrival of the sparkling blend. A tall glass garnished with an orange slice and chili peppers contains enough fruit and juice to successfully mask the smell of tequila. Mazel tov. Chug it down in one go. Tastes like an awful mix of all kinds of Nesbit soda, topped off with a hint of fermented cactus pulp. Something tells me I'm going to regret it soon. The music abruptly stops as I step away from the bar. I can't see the booth. The crowd's reaction tells me all I need to know. Looks like we have a new DJ. The vibes immediately improves. Hallelujah. Hello, Digimonolove. am currently playing Vampire the Masquerade, Shadows of New York. How are you doing, buddy? The vibe immediately improves, hallelujah. But pleasant moments never last. Some well-worn dude on the wrong side of 40 decides to hit me up. Our eyes meet for a brief moment. Slightly too late for me to outmaneuver him. Apparently there's no lust in his eyes, and yet he seems like a predator closing in on his prey. Shit. Could he be the rumored diva's delight, a kiss addict, clocking me as a bloodsucker? How come you're all alone here, sweetheart? I can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but there's something irksome about the way he carries himself. As he approaches me, I suddenly begin to feel fatigued, like there was a sudden drop in the atmospheric pressure. Tell him to piss off. My insured voice starts any attempts at sounding imposing. Can you bother somebody else? I'm not in the fucking mood. He seems unfazed by my words. He just tilts his head a little, like a hound dog catching a scent. I feel spiders crawling up my spine. Is there something wrong? Here, let me. Hands off, asshole. Potence, Trist. Just break his wrist. I grab his wrist in a tight grip and start twisting until I feel the snap of a dislocated joint. He screams in pain, but fortunately the music drowns it out. As soon as I let go of his hand, he runs for the exit. Stares me down before leaving. I can't help but sense something awful, something worse than fear in his eyes. It makes me feel uncomfortable. As if meeting that asshole didn't strain me enough, an acrid feeling arises in my guts, instantly making me nauseous. I barely make it to the nearest empty lounge before I begin violently throwing up. For a minute straight, I spray the couch with what remains of that wretched cocktail. It's not a pleasant sight. Get a hold of myself as soon as my stomach empties. Shit, Julie, your life has had its fair share of unavoidable embarrassments. Is it necessary for your unlife to follow that suit? Oof. I feel that, buddy. Trying to bail and not look back. Right before I reach the exit, a purple-haired girl from earlier bumps into me again. This time, I know it's not coincidental. Wait, please. She seems startled, but she gives me a pleading look. I saw what you did, that man. Are you one of them? What are you talking about? Who's them? She bares her teeth, and taps the side of her neck. Oh, I get it. Oh, so you're the diva's delight. She blushes innocently, as if I caught her stealing cookies. Yes, that sounds silly, I know. But I thought it would attract some of, some of your kind. Always been told I taste good. Would you like to try? She looks at me like the same way a junkie who hasn't had his hit for a while looks at a syringe. You know too much. There's no way you don't have a patron of some sort. Her eyes tear up again. I do, but maybe I don't. I don't know anymore. He shows up whenever he wants and then disappears for weeks. I don't know. I don't even know his name. We were supposed to meet here tonight, but guess he didn't show up. The girl keeps talking. Now that she has found something new to open up to, any instinct she might have had to remain secretive is gone. Makes you wonder who thought it was a good idea to breach the masquerade for her. Before him, I used to have a caregiver who was one of the divas too. But she was exceptionally noble. I think she cared about me in a way. She was complimented the way I taste. Would you like to try? She clinged to my arm like I am Jesus Christ and Kurt Cobain at the same time, descended from heaven specifically to turn her misery to bliss. Can't help but feel some disdain. Please, I promise you won't be disappointed. I know I won't be. I'm too hungry for that. But I also like to pretend that I'm something better than hungry from time to time. Bite. Hunger gets the better of me, and somehow I don't mind. This is what she wants, isn't it? Quick look around, nobody's paying attention. Why would they? We're two random girls who seem to be into each other. Gently grab the back of her head and put my lips closer to her neck. She visibly trembles with excitement. As I bite down, her body softens, and then I drink, savoring each sip. She really tastes incredible, like an unfulfilled promise. Sweet, sweet innocence. As soon as I am done, she loses her footing, weakened, but no undoubtedly relieved. I help her sit down on the floor. She smiles at me, joy glinting in her eye. Thank you. I really needed that. My name's... Don't talk, rest for a while. I leave her alone in a state of bliss. She hasn't seemed to mind. It looks like I did the right thing, right? I leave the booming sounds of the club behind me and I get on with my night. Alright, it's about time I head out to see Kadir. Mighty kind of him to arrange a meeting in a place that's most convenient for me. D'Angelo, Hope, Tamika, Agathon. It's better than nothing, but no evidence, really? Honestly, it felt as if somebody had already cleaned up the most egregious stuff before I arrived. Sounds like the Anarchs. Definitely try to check that place again, but I feel like I need some sort of expert to accompany me. An advanced investigator who would show me the ropes. Somebody tall and handsome. Maybe. Yeah, if you don't mind a diplomatic incident, I'll go with you. Any better ideas? Actually, this very note gave me one, but I will need to set it up first. I'll get back to you about that. You know these people? Had passing contact with each of them, part and parcel of the job, you know. I suppose. Can you help me out with this? The way to tackle it would be look at one person on the list every night. Ask around about them and see what they know if you do manage to meet them. If I manage to meet them. They're not particularly easy to get a hold of. Always preferred to be a little off the grid, but nowadays they're all practically in hiding, if not MIA or dead. Funny coincidence, that. Not my job to speculate. In other words, he knows something, but is not at liberty to say. Guess I'll find out anyway if I do meet them. And why one each night? Shouldn't I investigate every loose thread until we're satisfied? In a perfect world, you'd have all the time you need, but this is not a perfect world. They'll try to brute force a solution to the case as soon as possible. I suspect that 4 nights from now, once the celebration of power are over, that's for your finding, then that will be all. Fucked up. To be brutally honest, my focus would not be on solving the murder. Instead, I'd focus on not embarrassing yourself. Fucked up. This is part of why I didn't want you to get involved. You couldn't possibly think Arturo had you involved out of the goodness of his heart. The entirety of your investigation is just for show. You were meant to be an unwitting actor. Maybe I really should just call me and be like, you know what? Fuck these condescending ivory tower clowns. I want to work with you. But then again, if I was with the Anarchs, he'd probably delegate even shittier tasks to me, and that's a really big if. They didn't think I was some kind of inside agent in the first place. Better stick to camera light. But if they're hell-bent on stabbing me in the back at every opportunity, maybe it's time that I start think about how I can replay the flavor. Play dirty, no matter what Kadir thinks of it. After all, from where I'm standing now, there's no other way but up. You're paying for your thoughts. I take a drag from my cigarette. I'm pissed off. Thoughts, smarts. I'm angry, what do you expect? Something different from the norm, I suppose. My anger levels are above the norm, I suppose. It's a nasty situation, but not one without a possible good ending in sight. So I suppose you can channel that anger into something productive. I could try. Where should I go first? You should go with me. That happens, I'm the only out here because I was ordered to drive Ashley to the art hall. And guess the name of her protege. Oh, so that's who Agathon is. Or was, nobody knows, it's a complicated thing, you'll see. I'm on the clock, so let's get a move on. Lead the way, big bad wolf. Still not done with this bit? Not while it's still bothering you. I'm leaving you behind if you don't keep up. I already told Kadir numerous times at that I had no idea what happened to Agathon. The Broadway Chantry, part of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs, is Asling's usual hangout spot place these last few nights. He's in a hurry, not willing to talk. Do you have any idea about his connection to kindred going by the names Tamika, D'Angelo, and Hope? I don't. I made it a point to keep our relationship strictly professional. One. And never meddled in his personal affairs unless they influenced our work, that is, but it only happened one time. Ah yes, the infamous Juno case. About that Juno. Could that Juno case be the reason he's missing? I seriously doubt it for many reasons. I think the boy's lost his appetite for studying blood magic and set out to do a little soul searching. It was quite rude of him not to give me a proper warning before he departed. Still, my work is not particularly favored by folks with a perfect grasp of savoir-faire. I do hope his search brings him back right where he started, begging me to take him back in. The boy is talented. I put a lot of time into mentoring him. If he doesn't, well, hey Sarah, no skin off my back. You don't even entertain the possibility that he found himself in harm's way. Come on back now, sweetheart. I know the answer to that when a researcher's mindset. She doesn't think it's worth considering the worst case scenario seriously and just take things as they come. Precisely. If, for example, climate change scientists didn't operate this way, most would have put a bullet in their head long ago. That's a cherry thought. I'd like to search the chantry for Agathon's whereabouts. Our good sheriff already did that long ago. You'd just be wasting your time and ours for that matter. Didn't you say that Helena was waiting for us, Kadir? Give the girl 15 minutes, Aisling. A minimal support for that ongoing investigation, and besides, she has proclivity for finding things everyone else has overlooked. 10 minutes, and if you attempt to pass this door or that one up there, I can guarantee you'll walk. I can't guarantee you'll walk out of here alive. Thank you very much, High Regent. Just get on with it. My time is practically up. It seems Agathon was completely dedicated to his work. You know, his personal cores are as barren as it gets. No personal touch whatsoever. Nothing I can go by. It's all research, research, research. It seems like such a bore. Focus, Julia. What would you do if you were a real life workaholic? Where would you leave clues to your whereabouts? What would you do if you found yourself in mortal danger and wanted to cut it and know? It's loose. What was that? Yeah. It was facing this way, huh? I approached the place where I saw the shadowy silhouette appear at the brick wall, and one of the bricks is loose. Kadir and Asling are in a room right now, still discussing the party. It's not that bad. You ought to learn to find the humor in the little things. It's demeaning, Sheriff, and that's all there is to it. It's time. I work the brick loose until I can grip it, and then I tug it as suddenly as possible, revealing a hole in the wall. Inside there's a book. I browse through it quickly. Agathon's diary, that's a bingo. Your 10 minutes are up, so are your 15 minutes. In fact, are you done here? Could I just get 5 more minutes? I still feel like I could stumble upon something here if I just look a little more. No way, Julia, time to go. Fine. I put the brick back and take the diary with me. It did look like Agathon left it so that someone in the chamber could find it, presumably the High Regent. But my investigation takes priority for now. I bid Kadir and Asling adieu and start looking for a secure place to read the diary. This place right here should be secure enough for me to browse through the diary in peace. I start quickly skimming the book, singling out sentences and paragraphs that look interesting. Trying to get a general idea of what kind of person Agathon was. Or is, I hope. The more I read, the clearer the image of the person becomes. He's been working under the High Regent for 15 years. There's underlying shame in the way he talks about Tremere magic. He always describes himself as too slow on the uptake, too late to learn something, too much of an amateur. He was really into tying his self-worth to his wisdom. The entries, beginning of 2012, are terrifyingly regular. The handwriting is extraordinarily neat. The author's absolute dedication to his studies is palpable. If there's anything to his own life besides work, it's his relationship with the 3 important women he holds dear. The first is his master, Asling Sturbridge, who he reveres for her knowledge of him and willingness to experiment. I was hoping to find some details about her secretive work here, but no dice. Looks like he was willing to risk some and find out about his inner life, but not anything that would harm her studies. A good pupil, serving a good mentor. I'm jealous. Second is another warlock, his ex-lover, Juno, whom he feels guilty about. They had a conflict in which Asling was involved. Having to choose between the two, he chose Asling. According to Agathon, there was never real love between him and Juno. First it was just shared interests, and then they grow disconnect, then a growing disconnect, and ultimately guilt, which made him feel responsible for her. Or maybe it's just excuses. He strikes me as the kind of person who spends most of his time inside his head. Doesn't sound like someone you could have a fulfilling romance with. Dakota. One day Dakota might realize this. Anyway. Last but not least, Agatha's mortal grandmother, Sylvia. She was the light of his life, a person who took care of him after his parents died in a ritual murder. Not quite what I expected. Her family used to serve a cruel vampire in Mexico City, and it was retribution for their escape. She was the lead Tremere used to track him down, actually. He was keeping her alive for a long time, but a few months ago her heart gave up. Agatha blamed his insufficient skills, the kind of man who carries the entire world on his shoulders. Left alone with Aisling, he drowned himself in work and eventually burned out. But it doesn't sound like Sylvia's death was the only event that triggered his depression spiral. There was some kind of incident back in 2019. He doesn't write site specifics. Another thing he was worried about writing down, all the vague mentions of a person who made him fly too close to the sun. Whatever happened, it had the same effect on his grandma's death. New York stopped feeling like a home to him. It became alien. Empty, grotesque, his words. I checked the first page. There's a recent photograph of him glued to the inner side of the cover. He's facing away from the camera, only showing his profile and strikingly a rather dramatic pose. At first, it looks like a kind of poser-ish to me. However, upon closer inspection, seems like a goodbye photo. The final melancholic glance he throws in your direction before disappearing for good. There's also a single black filler, no idea what it means. Something is written on next to the photograph with a loud flourish. Looks like a poem. More than annoyed, sad. More than sad, unhappy. More than unhappy, suffering. More than suffering, abandoned. More than abandoned, alone in the world. More than alone, exiled. More than exiled, dead. More than dead, forgotten. The Sedative. 1917 by Marie Leracien. Looks like he wrote it down recently. It might have resonated with his emotional state over the past few months. Most importantly, confirms his intent with this diary to me. The general idea seems this: his research will outlive him if he doesn't even detail it. Still, he wanted some kind of tangible memory of who he was, left to posterity. And that's not all. There's still a mystery to be solved. Quite a few pages toward the end are missing, but it doesn't look like they were necessarily removed to redact information. They were torn off in a way that makes it clear the paper wasn't even used. What's more, the preceding pages are empty as well. Could it be that that's when it happened again? I noticed a bizarre shape in my peripheral vision. Bleed. I turned to catch a glimpse as fast as possible, but it's already gone. If my heart could beat faster right now, it would be jumping out my chest. This is comforting. I've seen these apparitions ever since I turned into this. The worst part is, I feel they were always there, even as a mortal. They were there sometimes in the corner of my eye, disappearing when I tried to look directly at them, making me think it's just my mind playing tricks on me. But when you're part of the Night Clan, there are times they don't disappear, there are times they talk, and there are times they try to force you to do their bidding, and worst of all, no. I don't want to think about it right now. Still, in my experience, there aren't exactly, I don't know, consciously malevolent. This one in particular was trying to help. Open the book to the first empty page and look around to make sure no one's staring. Then I cut myself with a razor. I keep it in pocket just in case. Not a deep slice, I just let the droplet of vitae fall on the page. That is when the letters appear. Look at me, a tragic clown, no longer confident that any of my people can be trusted. I turn to fucking... Not gonna say that word on Twitch. A Camarilla. At that. Reserved contempt. What are you, waiting for, boy? Laugh at me. Ridicule is all I deserve. Come on, just stand there like an idiot. I want you to say something. You want to say something, say it. What the hell? This is the last thing I expected to happen. This diary is haunted. A series of quick, changing sentences and images. Composed of blood and shadow give me a window into another reality. It's not an objective view, it's like scattered remnants of emotions. Similar to a half-remembered dream. Full of holes, but an honest expression of one's mind. Might be interacting with me, it's just a hypothesis, but I don't know why else it would show me Callahan. And was that Ellis Island? Right. This time I don't even look in this direction. The voice makes me feel oddly confident about what I'm about to do. Pick up the feather that was in the diary and dip it into my vitae, and then I write down. Contempt. You sold out your ideas long ago, old man. You're a shithead, a bigot, a coward, a failed leader, hated by everyone who served you. Of course I have nothing but contempt for you. Good. Finally, some honesty. Now we can talk to each other like equals. And I feel like this is the way these events took place. It's more like a way to explore Agathan's emotional truth about the way it unfolded. In any case, the diary's interacting to me, and some shade of the truth is better than nothing. It's a handy tool, and if I can use it right, I might find some clues that will aid me in my investigation. There are a few thoughts floating around my head, like alien entities trying to make their way out. Is there also an effect of the diary's power? Let's try. Death. Is it a fear of death that drove you to contact me? That'd be ridiculous. I've been ready to die since before you came out of your mama's room, boy. I have no fear of I fear something worse. So when you heard about their plot, yes, I was afraid it would fail and leave me for final death. I was afraid it would succeed. Damn, what are these two talking about? Why did you meet? Explain. I shared my intel with you. Is there anything you know that I might need to know? You got yourself in a giant mess, boy, and you think you know it is bad? You don't even know the half of it. But if you want to resist, first off, you're going to have to bite the hand that has been feeding you for so long. Blood running cold. All the scribbling disappears, and yet another set starts taking their place. There are conjures. Images of a completely different place. I instantly get a feeling of deja vu. I process the place differently. The atmosphere is different, more familiar, homely. And this is unmistakably the Tremere Chantry I visited earlier today. And standing there is the person I'd expect. Looks like that's it for my meeting with Callahan, goddammit. But what if the person he was talking about and eliciting a strong emotion from was Aisling? A diary waits my next command. Who? What is this naive question? I make it a point to have as few strings attached to me as possible. I've kept the few I've kept because of the benefits they should offer should be painfully obvious to you. I don't feel comfortable being part of this at all. I always thought we were busy with science, not politics. These are words of a child, Agathan. Science has always relied on politics, and politics on science. Not like this, Lord Regent. Don't embarrass me, Agathon. Not like this. The moving scribblings disappear again. I hastily let another drop of blood fall on the page. What appears this time is yet another familiar face. Ah yes, Agathon. What is it that you wanted to tell me? You goddamn rat. You goddamn rat. I beg your pardon? My heart vanishes. Yeah, right. As if I could ever gather enough courage to say this to your face. The least I can do is try and stab you in the back. Darian's here. I drop a little more on the page, but it no longer works. Suppose that's it. I still have no idea what happened to Agathan. Is he alive or is he dead? Dead. He's dead, no doubt about it. There's too many powerful folks involved, and everything I've seen of Daria feels like a noose tightening around his neck. I choose to believe he's dead because it's the most rational thing to do. I suppose Dakota's right. I'm a glass half empty buzzkill. In any case, I think it's time to pay a visit to the art hall. I know Arturo tends to leave the Elysium quite often to take in fresh air and message people on his BlackBerry, so I just wait until I see him. Tactic works, and he's surprised to see me. Miss Sawinski, shouldn't you be busy with your investigation? I am, actually, which is why I've come to see you. That's particular, because I'm absolutely sure I have nothing to do with this case. Aren't you barking up the wrong tree? That's what I'm here to find out. I assume you'd want to see I'm thorough. Yeah, sure, I suppose it's commendable. What is it, then? I have reasons to believe that the last few months you, the High Regent Aisling Sturbridge, and her child Agathon were involved in a secretive scheme. His expression changes ever so imperceptibly, but the difference is palpable to me. For the first time ever, he's looked at me as a person, not up until now as just amusing divergence. Now I'm something more and he doesn't like it. What gave you this idea? I'm not at liberty to say. If you want to know, ask the sheriff. Of course, Kadir doesn't know anything, but he's only the one in the court that Arturo repeatedly failed to influence. And he'll think twice before approaching him. I fail to see how this matter relates to the task at hand. I have every reason to think Baron Callahan was involved, and that he might have had grounds to fear for his life because of said scheme. He's tense now. Do I have the upper hand? Miss Sawinski? Please answer the question. The delicate matter you're speaking of has absolutely nothing to do with Baron Callahan's grim fate. It's a strictly confidential affair. It would be wise of you to stop pursuing it. It would be wise of you to fuck off. Can't be an investigator if I'm not allowed to properly investigate. This matter is unrelated to your work and should be treated as such. I'm 100% convinced Prince Panhard would agree. If you insist on pursuing it further, you can take it up with the prince and see if her stance differs from mine. I think you aren't as naive as to waste your time this way. And besides, she'd certainly want you to present the basis of your discovery to the court. Could you handle it? I have no response, goddammit. This is his revenge for invoking Kadir, isn't it? I thought so. Is the High Regent inside? She is, but don't worry, I'll make sure to tell her not to waste your precious time, Mrs. Winsky. So that's how you're gonna play it, you bastard. Well, I guess you win this round. A strategic retreat is my only choice here. I don't have a full deck of cards yet, but just you wait in a few nights. I'll take my leave then. Yes, do that, and if I may be so blunt, focus on the investigation avenues that aren't utterly imbecilic and suicidal pursue, miss. I bid you adieu. I curse him out under my breath as he disappears inside the art hole. I guess this avenue really is cut off for me, at least for now. 3 names left on the list. I still have some leads to go by, but for now, getting late. I should go to St. Patrick's and file my latest report. When I reached the cathedral, Father Leonard was already there. He's not exactly the most punctual person, so I always feel relieved to see him up from afar. Trying to move in and out before I'm noticed by Benoit. With y'all? I guess I routed off most of it in a hurry on the way here. I'll come off with a more exhaustive report tomorrow night. Busy? Looks that way, Father. Our wayward girl has finally been recognized by her superiors. Here we go. Of course, he had to sneak up on me. If even you heard about it, I guess that means every kindred in the 5 boroughs knows. I know you're an expert when it comes to knowing who, saying what and where, but last time we met, you promised to share that knowledge with me. Yeah, I was kind of lying. That's the 9th commandment broken, Father. Shouldn't you scold her? Don't involve me in your silly games, Benoit. The way you fall for obvious lies stems from your biggest failing in communication, and that is... you only pay attention to what is being said and not the how. That's... booyah, motherfucker. Suck it! Annihilated with the absolute flawless diagnosis. Welcome back. God, don't make me regret siding with you. Sorry, Father. It won't happen again, especially if you could promise to keep verbally destroying that clown. You're in a strange mood tonight, child. Get some sleep. Yes, we'll continue this tomorrow. I'm not showing up here tomorrow. Yes, you are. Stop breaking the 9th commandment. See you around, Julia. Says my name in a sickly sweet way that gives me the creeps. I bow to Father Leonard and do my best to ignore Benoit and head for Dakota's place. Finally, my haven. Hey. Another tough night? You don't know the half of it. You want a drink? She points to her neck. I manage to summon a faint smile. I'd love to, but you know we can't do this too often. Maybe tomorrow. You want to talk then? Yeah, I guess so. Just not about work, okay? I'll sit down next to her. Not about work, got it. What's on your mind then? The past, I guess. Meaning? That's bad our memories are. How, despite that, it's what we build our convictions on. Sorry, it's so banal. I'm just tired and frustrated. Let's talk about something more specific then. What do you remember about the time we first met? The time we first met? Yeah, shit, not a lot actually. Those were gloomy, anxious days. I think I subconsciously replaced most of them with blank space. I remember you trying to paint your hair black. Ouch, don't dig up my trauma black now, okay? I remember that when we first talked, we talked about Hasu. Don't say Hasu, that's low-key racist, I think. Nobody ever knows what you mean by house. Ah, that shows with the asshole doctor? No, the Japanese haunted house. A horror film that feels like it was written by a 7-year-old with ADHD. In the best way. In the best way, duh. We're arguing which character in the movie both of us are. You were Kung Fu and I ended up as Prof, which is rude. You were dressed up like a total nerd, not my fault. What was the deal with that suit? I like that suit. Yeah, it was okay. I remembered helping you with the graphic design whenever you needed it. Funny, I remember you needing help with writing on something that tended to happen far more often. Yeah, we developed a funny shared aesthetic that with similar surface concerns, and it bonded us together even before we made sure we were fully compatible deep down as human beings. Yeah, I'm still not sure we are, especially now with me not being a human being anymore. But hey, at least we both agree that this bedroom feels super comfy. I remember always feeling left out of your social circles. Always knocking on the door from the outside. Don't forget, my social circles were full of out-of-touch, snobby assholes. Yeah, but it felt weird how much they avoided me, and there was that one time with Isabella. All of a sudden, the one thing Isabella said at that one party flashed into my mind with startling clarity. After midnight in that kitchen without context, she just walked up to me and she will isolate you, she will suck you dry, and she'll move on to the next target. It's the only thing she knows. It remind me of Isabel. She's always resented me. It's been so long, and it's all baseless conjecture now. But what if she really did isolate me on purpose back then? Glass half empty, my ass. Something is off here, and that might be part of it. Can't rule that out, at least. I won't say anything, but it's worth keeping in my mind for the future. Not being naturally suspicious is a virtue, whatever Dakota says. Let's just carry on as if nothing happened. Yeah, forget Isabel. Let's talk. Just drop this talk. I'm frustrated enough. I need a reset. Sounds like a good idea. Off to sleep? Yeah, gotta get ready to go back to hell tomorrow. Alright, I'll get back to work. You working remotely again? Yeah, my office is going insane for so many reasons, and I'm started getting cabin fever too. Get some sun, it'll be good for you. Look who's talking. Good night, sunshine. Good night. A few minutes after I wake up, I see a message. I see a message slipped under the apartment's front door. Kadir? Yep, looks like you got a short window to meet me in the Queens. A few hours from now, Willett Point. A single suggestion. Get ready for action. Fine, then I will. Best way to do it would be to clear my mind. Just walk without thinking, reset the framework. Some fresh air should do it. Get a chance meeting with someone who could get me out of this mental rut. Let me see the world from a different angle for a while. I can improve my mood. Although, when it comes to improving one's mood, nothing beats some crimson red pouring down my throat. Not to mention, these cigarettes taste best with a full stomach. Let's go. Huh. There's no place like home and I need a little peace. Big beef burger, here I come. But wait, who is this loon? Again and again I find myself with interest in my sanctuary. Current vibe not exactly an embodiment of joie de vivre, but unburdened by my usual self-loathing. All in all, a pretty decent frame of mind. Beware, big beat burger, something wicked this way cometh. And poof, just like that, my mood's ruined, and all it took was a single step through the door. Frenetic woman. Some swivel-eyed loon took my seat. Her legs are crossed over the table. Her dirty shoes stained my chipboard altar. Oh, come on. Her art style is obviously meant to look eccentric and patchwork, but it comes off as tragically derelict. There's nothing coincidental in her table choice. It's just not because there's plenty of free spots tonight. She always knew with those beady little eyes, daring me to come and try her. I give the guy at the till, Benny, I think his name was, a quick glance, no response, and surprising he's a veteran. He knows better than to get involved. Is this supposed to be a message? Long shot, but a reminder of the camera's watchful eyes, maybe. Everything about this lady, her hairstyle, her mannerisms, her lipstick, smeared nowhere near her actual lips, screams lunatic. I'm not the type that fights tooth and nail to get the other bat out of her cave, but I'm not going to back down for no good reason either. Probably take a seat right in front of her and wait. Yeah, you crazy-haired weirdo hag. I can be patient too. Focus on her eyes. It feels nauseating. Kind of like getting into some ever-shifting Escher-esque fractals. I don't know. It's becoming so vertigo-inducing. I need to avert my eyes for a moment, losing this dumb competition as a result. I can barely suppress the urge to spit right in her stupid doodle-covered face. She can cross her legs in a strangely seductive motion. In her mind's eye, it probably looked like Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct. But in reality, it had all the grace of a tracksuit Slav squatting. Seems we're gonna be here a little while longer. Pull out a cigarette from my crumpled package and light it casually as if I wasn't bothered at all by the invader. Before I could take a single puff, the nut job snatches the cigarette out of my mouth. Don't mind if I do. Who do you? She cuts me off mid-sentence. Shh, no talking. You need to get back to your happy place. I try to hold the impetus to rip her face off. She picks up after a few seconds. I don't like you. I don't hate you either. Not yet, at least. Sheesh. I'm a good judge of character, but yours still eludes me. Get to the fucking point. She licks the ash off the cigarette in a fluid motion and takes a long puff. No exhaling. The smoke comes off of her mouth while she speaks, like an intestine caught on fire. My special friend asked me to note your every step, judge your every move, and count your every failure. Believe me, when I started this job, I thought there would be a lot less counting. Who is she talking about? Panhard, Kadir, Torque? She tilts her head in an upsetting canine manner. No, girl, I ran all sorts of charts and graphs on you. And they all pointed to the same result. Useless hussy. Can you help your sister out and illuminate for me what's all the fuss about? Don't want help? Come on, if you're a good doggy, you might get a biscuit. As if all that bullshit was enough, she taps my nose like I'm some fucking puppy. Oh no, you didn't. You want to get nuts? Okay, let's get nuts. Don't you dare touch it. Don't you dare touch me again. Try that again and I'll break your arms. Get out. Get out now. Seems genuinely surprised by my reaction. She blinks twice with almost comical timing and then lets out a short, cartoonish laugh. She keeps laughing as she stands up and blows me a kiss on her way out. Toodaloo, sweetie pie. The door closed behind her, the loud bubblegum chewing finally gone, the cheap bubblegum smell inexplicably lingering, along with a lot of less savory aromas. The dejected staff member approaches with a much-needed air freshener and some antibacterial spray in tow. It gives me a knowing look and sighs. I shrug my arms empathetically and leave him to his job. I don't know. I feel like sticking around here anymore. It's time to get back to work. Step inside the subway and head to my meeting with Kadir. Oh, for fuck's sake, I thought you were kidding. Nope, I couldn't reach her, but I know for a fact Hope is there. He's pointing in the direction of a double spiral building. And what is she doing there? I understand she's currently the current leader of the company, acting CEO to be exact. No, you're pulling my leg. Of all the places in the city, company that brags about creating IT solutions for the future, always surrounded by rumors of monstrous workers' abuse, all sorts of ethical violations, trading information with governments, and ending the career of a certain promising journalist. Professional fuck-up who attempted to investigate them seriously. Might be able to ask her both professional and personal questions, 2 birds in 1 stone. Don't get it, last time I checked, the company belonged to Cara Montgomery. I told you quietly took a sabbatical a few months ago, and it looks like the kind of sabbatical you don't come back from. Final death? Final death? Very possible, but I have no idea. I remember I was shocked when I first learned that one of my nemesis back in my old life was a vampire all along. When I realized her position made her untouchable to me, I was beyond mad. Well, whatever happened, it couldn't happen to a nicer person. What about her brother Jesse? You're asking me? Last time I checked, you were the expert on this company. I just handled the basic intel for you, even though I shouldn't really be here. Yeah, I realize. I hope you realize I'm grateful. You'd better be. So, is Hope just another corporate shark? Well, she's the child of Carter, a theatrical pause. He smiles as he sees me wince, but very much unlike him. He took her in for her particular multifaceted talents related to the internet, knowing he's hopelessly behind the times in that regard. I hear she's been unruly low. Well, unruly is good. I can work on unruly. So you're telling me that she might not be a stuck-up startup bitch? Language. As I've told you a few times now, when it comes to the internet, just assume I haven't the slightest idea. I'm getting there myself. I haven't been able to check my emails for 5 months. I have no idea what the kids at BBB are talking about most of the time. Oh my god, I might be getting old. Don't worry. Might you realize you don't give a damn about most fads you would have cared about years ago is a liberating one. Been there, done that. At the beginning of the 20th century. Old. Anyway. You'll probably hear Hope's story straight from the horse's mouth. I don't have much time, so let's get straight to the point. Shouldn't be looking for anything in the main building, it's just a front. Ignore it. What you want to do is use elevators to get to the lowest floor of the building. I heard stories about the double spiral basement, but I had no idea what to make of them. Every source told me a different rumor. Did any of them tell you a rumor about an army of underground ghouls? No, but I'm all ears. Still Sprout employs an army of ghouls as a cheap workforce. They work and live underground, away from prying eyes, with lesser rights than the regular kind and employees. Perfect for business. Wow. I'm actually speechless for a second. I had profoundly low expectations at that company, but every time I learn something new about it and what's going on behind the scenes, I'm surprised at the level of scumbaggery at play. I'll leave the moral judgments to you, expert. In any case, you need to reach room 507 where the CEO supposedly resides, and then get help to answer your questions. It's all the time your flip phone vibrates. Speaking of, if you got anything left for me, it's now or never. I'm needing at the art hole now. Can't I just ask her normally? Can't I just ask her about Callahan normally? Would I be wasting my time if you could? Officially, she's not even here, won't even answer my calls. You need to force her hand. Will she be even willing to talk? I trust you to be persuasive. The phone vibrates again. Well, that's it for me. Toro was pestering me to show up at the Elysium 5 minutes ago. Now I kindly suggest he could go fuck himself. Not 1,000 years. But good luck with your mission, soldier. With a mock salute, he disappears into his car and drives away. Nothing left for me but to head in. I'm still anxious. There are two approaches to choose from. In which one I pick, I will have to stick with it. If I force my way in and assert my authority, bad cop style, that should make an impression. Bad bitch coming in with the entire court behind her back, bluffing her way to victory. Sneaking and politely asking for operation seems like a less disruptive, more me option. But it's not like being me has taken me anywhere less far. Shit. I kind of wish I was still stuck in my routine where I didn't need to do things like developing a personality. It's a bit of a coin flip, honestly, but I got a choice to make here. How do I approach Double Spiral? Time to be aggressive. Yeah, being covert hasn't exactly been working out for me. Time to show them and myself, I guess, who's boss. As far as I'm concerned, out of all the companies in the world, this one deserves to be thrown out of gear the most. Time to be bad cop and finally get somewhere. Alright, let's do this. Enter through the front door. There's a guard watching the security cameras. He stands up expecting me to state my business. Shut up, unexpected. It's not hard to fuck with his mind. He gives me a confused nod, slumps in his seat and zones out. I enter the elevator and press the button on the lowest floor. Pump myself up for a bit before as the elevator descends. Hello, Double Spiral. Time to make a mess. When I leave the elevator, I immediately head into the corridor in front of me and announce my presence. Yoo-hoo, anybody home? Big bad Kindred out here. Better answer before I start making a mess. Pink hair girl emojis from one of the corridors, looking quite angry, possibly one of Hope's ghouls. Stop right there, who the hell are you? Julia Sawinski, La Sombra representative of New York City. Who the hell are you? I'm Nastasia, Double Spiral's head of security. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Wrong. You're going to have to make me leave. Walk past her. She tries to catch me, stop me. By evading her grasp is child's play. Ghouls, I swear. Boss, we got a problem. Some lunatic walks in right into the office floor. She claims she's a La Sombra. A door at the end of the hallway is made of reinforced glass. I focus all my strength to kick it in, interrupting the girl. Tell her I'll be right there. She's the only one I want. I reach the Double Spiral offices where, just like Kadir said, hordes of ghouls are slaving away for their company. Deep learning, spyware, social media manipulation, yada yada. The important thing is they don't even turn away from their displays as I keep sweeping gadgets off their desk onto the floor, making Nastasia madder and madder. Don't make me use force. Oh, I'd love to see you try, ghoul. Even if you manage to put me down, I'd love to see you explain to the sheriff, my direct superior. Listen, lady, I don't know what it is you want. Or I told you, stupid, I want your boss. Did I hear Carl Montgomery is taking a sabbatical? Don't play fucking games with me. I'm here to see Hope. But, hey you! Goofy looking glasses guy wearing an anime t-shirt. Where can I find room 507? He raises his hand listlessly, points me in the right direction, prompting Nastasia to kick his chair in frustration. I head that way and eventually reach the corridor I was hoping to find. So I walk to the end of the corridor. There it is, room 507. The door looks harder to take care of than the other ones in this place. Probably won't be able to just take care of it the same way I did the others. They're in the office to the current double spiral CEO of this fucking company. I get pissed off by trying to control it. The camera by the door. If she knows what to look for, she can probably see I'm here on her screen. Just to make sure I knock on her door. Hope, I'm a Camarilla detective and I need you to answer some questions. Hope, I know you're in there. Open the door. I will not leave until you do. I'm here on the behalf of the sheriff of New York City. I hope. Keep pounding on the door, calling her name. After a minute or so, a voice rings out on the intercom. This thing on? I guess it is. Alright, I got your message loud and clear. I'll meet you in the offices. I'll be right there. In the meantime, please refrain from making a mess of our office, will you? Nothing for Anastasia. If she was due for a heart attack, she would have had it by now. Thank you for your cooperation. I will be right there. What's up? On one hand, clothes you could reasonably expect to find in any CEO's wardrobe. On the other hand, a body covered in tattoos, flashy jewelry, dyed hair, and wild makeup. The thought that she might be yet another CEO playing non-conformist crosses my mind, but she strikes me as someone who's more than happy to live in her own little bubble. Still, I won't be fooled. She is the boss of Double Spiral. So, how did you find me? Sheriff Kadir Alaswamy. You'd have to ask him. Take out a new cigarette without thinking. You can't smoke in here, lady. Just let her. Don't treat me like I'm your enemy. I come in peace. Peace, my ass. A deep, relaxing drag. Not my fault you couldn't handle me. I had at least 5 opportunities to subjugate you. I just chose not to, because I had a hunch the boss might benefit from seeing you. You trust your hunches that much? Hunches got me every job I've ever had. Hunches saved my life anytime I got into a messy situation. These days, the reality is too complicated to rely on anything else. Can't find a better head of security than our Nastia. And her hunches are the main reason why. They're like a sixth sense. A corporate rebel, huh? I'm gonna take you for a brute enforcer. I mean, that's the idea. You want to be an unexpected threat? I mean, the whole rebel aesthetic versus the whole bloody thirsty corporate dog thing. Is that meant to be a disguise? Nah, I've always been into alternative shit, hating the system. And I've dressed like this for a while. Long before I got a taste of hope. No moral confusion about it? Not just shrugs. Like in this city, we're all corporate dogs in one way or another. I just cut out the middleman. More money for me, and the more time to pursue my own thing. So you're a sellout. Please check the bio of any alt music icon who presents themselves as radical. Their parents, always these rich fucks. Military, CIA, predatory loans, old money, whatever. And they never own it. Always squirming anytime somebody asks about the position of privilege they've used to sell their maverick image. Me, I have to get my own hands dirty to get anywhere, so I will. Well, surprise! I actually get her. That cynical attitude is too tempting. Lovely chat, girls, but I'd love it if you saved it for later. I'm CEO now. I have a lot of duties I must pretend to handle. I just need to ask you a few questions. Yeah, sure. Call me if you need me. I got a weird hunch about this one too. I gave you that hunch, Nastia. The way I made a mess of your entire floor you were supposed to protect. Fish. I'll talk security later. Don't worry, that shit happens. For now, take 5. Nastia leaves, and I'm left alone with Hope in the corner of her office. Feels funny to stand here in front of you. Oh, and what's that? And why is that? You people had me fired from my job before I was embraced. Ah, see, you're that, Swarovski girl from Lodestar. Yeah. Somehow I never put 2 and 2 together. So you're the little summer for this city now, huh? As she's talking to me, she keeps tapping at her phone with terrifying speed. I don't feel like I have her full focus, and it's getting on my nerves. Just so you know, I have no idea why you're taking But you've taken Cara Montgomery's place, and I doubt you tell me, but that bitch deserved us to burn in hell. Hell yeah, she does. Wait, did you just admit? Oh, your horses. No, Jesus. This is a normal CEO. Why is this normal CEOs pay for PR people to talk for them? I only agree that she was a horrible person in every way that counts, nothing more. Does she know that that's what you think of her? Why did she let you take her position in the first place? What? I'll cut through the bullshit, okay, Miss Lodestar. I guess this is about Jesse and Carr covering up his creepy ass. Spent months on this case, and you'd like some closure? Pretty much. I hear your closure does. The fellow has severed practically all ties with them. They don't work here. They get no company money. Probably never show up here again. Company's not their circus anymore, and the workers are not their monkeys. I'm in charge now, so yeah. If there's anything you'd like from me, I'm all ears. I wasn't about just Jesse and his sister. The company has ingrained structure of abuse and immoral. I've ordered internal investigations and audits. Everyone related to those listed activities was disciplined, legal actions, firings, rebukes, all depending on the severity of their misdemeanors. Don't have a stomach for all that creepy corporate shit, so I'm trying to steer the ship in the right direction. Don't know what else I can tell you. For fuck's sake, no matter how I look at it, seems she's done everything I hoped to achieve. Remember, the Montgomery clan's over, the queen bitch. So everything wrong with tech CEOs is gone. Jesse, that perverted and embezzling son of a bitch, is gone. I should be glad, so why is there a stinging pain in my stomach? This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel right. Probably not, but hey, look at this company, like the Mafia and gangster movies. You don't really win big by dismantling one. Another one will just as quickly take its place. You can only win by ensuring the organization gets the best possible leader. So in Double Spiral's case, the best you can hope for, no pun intended, is me. The biggest case of my professional life solved by some weirdo who fucked Carr and Jesse over in presumably underhanded ways. It doesn't get more anticlimactic than this, fucking hell. I want to ask her how she did it, but why would she tell me? All I can guess is she's an outcast who decided to get her hands dirty and to obtain power to do something considered good. Something I've always been afraid to do. Anyway, I feel for you. I have a lot of work to do. If this wasn't just a trip down memory lane and you have any questions, speak now or forever hold your peace, okay? I feel like a car just ran over me. I need to get my shit together. Right. A few days ago, an anarch baron was found dead in his office. Are you familiar with this the case? Douglas Callahan, of course I'm familiar. Every Kenyan online is talking about him. And what are they saying? They're accusing everyone. I mean, it is the internet. Are they accusing you? Why would they do that? A peculiar note in Callahan's remains. It had your name on it. Huh. What can you say about this? Nothing. I never met the guy. I've never even seen him. He wasn't my crowd. Then why would he have a note with your name in his pocket? Why were Walt Disney's last written words Kurt Russell? No clue. Watch her closely, but nothing suggests citing anything. Well, the note actually contains three other names. Nothing else. Agathan, D'Angelo, Tamika. Ring any bells now? Her fingers, which haven't been stopped moving across the phone touchscreen since I first saw her, freezes. It kind of does, actually. It's a short list of promising unaffiliated kindred that was making the rounds in NYC a few months ago. In case anyone needed a hero for hire. I didn't know Callahan had it. I know Sophie Langley did, as well as a few Primogen. Not sure about the Anarchs. Who could have prepared this list? One of the local information brokers. A short but telling pause. Anonymous. How anonymous? Sort of anonymous. She's oddly conflicted about whether she should tell me, but maybe she's pretending so I worm it out of her. Making a mess of her office's work, so might as well put her on the top guy act again. I have nothing against them, Anonymous, or it's in my best interest to hurt them, Anonymous, because if it's the latter, we might be in business. She really considers her options and then gives up. It's my sire, Carter Van der Vaden. Oh. He's brokering information? Everyone knows becoming the Prince of New York is his ultimate goal, that he wants to make friends with in all the high places. Sharing useful intel is a pretty effective way to achieve that. So you're telling me that he, an Alcavian Primogen, sold this list to the Anarch Baron. Sure looks like it. Why would he suggest his own child to somebody? Another person on the inside, just another way to further his information web. Wouldn't they realize you two are close? A story going around is, he left me alone and I hate his guts. But at least half of that is true. He's talkative, probably, sees me as a way to undermine Carter. Let's see how much I can further push this. I was wondering how somebody like you could control a company like Downward Spiral. I found out high places would explain it. Yeah, lucky me. Not happy about being a boss? Not happy about being a girl boss? I think one of the biggest IT companies in the country? A boss, huh? There's a dozen of displays on the wall in front of her. You remember the Y2K era internet? Jesus, I barely remember the internet at all. My people can't really use it. But yeah, I guess I sort of remember forums, GeoCities, browser wars, all the handmade amateurish web pages. It was a golden age. Everyone was welcome to freely express their creativity and obsessions in this abject new frontier. No formulated rules. No site was a distinct new universe. Every site was a distinct new universe to explore. You know, for a kid. For some reason, I kept saving every website that moved or changed me in some way. I don't even know why I did it. But today, a folder of these is one of my greatest treasures. Fast forward to today, I'm the boss of a company that has one overreaching goal. Steer the online narrative in every way possible that benefits the Camarilla. And because the online world is so fucked right now, I can do it using only 5 websites or so. Every day, I deploy thousands of believable sock puppets to force some belief on the masses. Right now, they're being managed by these ghouls. Soon they will be partially managed by AI. Basically an all-American version of the Chinese 50 Cent Party. A new pattern of public opinion guidance. Ever since I was a 10, I pretended to be a different people online for fun, aping the posting patterns of others was something I turned out to be horrifyingly good at. I became even better after the embrace, something about the voice of Malcab in my head. After several years, I became a one person in an empire. I could impersonate anyone. At I Dream of Tulips, a humble florist from Chattanooga who strives to share positive energy with their audience using photos of beautiful bouquets, motivational quotes, and the occasional The Office gift. Volvo Hufflepuff, single mom from Brighton who reckons all these trans women must be bonkers and spends seemingly every waking moment of her life having a row with anyone who disagrees. Polygon Classicist, 19-year-old kid from Utah who keeps posting Y2K 3D renders of poorly proportioned, scantily clad ladies and telling his audience to remember what they took from you. Somehow this talent got me here, where it's no longer fun but work. I usually trust these ghouls because of all my duties. I want out before my entire mind gets monetized. But Carter won't have that, so I'll keep doing my best for both him and Double Spiral's investors. So that's why she wants me to look at him. I assume most of your operations focus on New York City? A lot of them, yeah. How do you imitate a New Yorker voice with these sock puppet accounts? Manhattan being mentally unstable makes this shit easy. To a normal, well-adjusted person from the outside of the city, everyone here seems mentally unstable. Ever watched that 9/11 Howard Stern show? No. Check it out someday, it's educational. Ask anyone in NYC about it, and they're like, it was a great bonding moment. He was helping us make sense of everything. He kept saying what we were all thinking. Then you listen to it, and it's everyone yelling that we need to nuke something. Maybe the entire world, get rid of all the Muslims, fuck human rights, no investigations, take their oil, cheery. You watch it, you study it, you witness that specific brand of humor in the face of tragedy. You understand that nothing outside of New York City really exists for the people who live here. Or the vampires. A foundational text, really. Whenever I need to get in the New York mindset for work, I will play it in the background. Works like a charm. Seriously, give it a shot sometime. Someday, I might. For now, I think I'll confront Vanderweyden with what you told me. Or is it what you haven't told me? What's the story? Me? Of course I haven't told you anything. You're such a good investigator. You figured it out by yourself, and if he asks, just tell him Kaiser sold you the info. That should do the trick. I see, thank you. For what? I did nothing. Let Nostalgia show you out, and if you don't know Vanderweyden's address, just ask her. Thank you for having me, Mr. Vanderweyden. No need. I'm happy to assist in your investigation in whatever way I can, Miss Sawinski. That sickening sweet smile. In this office, spacious but oppressive, here's a man who knows how to subtly unnerve people, but does he even realize it? And I'm sure the presence of the esteemed Addison Payne will guarantee I'm totally transparent. Am I right, Addison? Looks like I've interrupted a friendly meeting. In the far corner of the room, I spot glasses of blood and 2 spittoons. Vices and follies of the rich. Are you sure I'm not wasting your time? Not at all. Busy as I might be, I can't say I'm not curious about the findings in your case. Yes, my thoughts exactly. How are you handling your newfound responsibilities? I'm managing. Start by asking the obvious. Where were you at the night Phyllis Callahan met his untimely demise? Vanderweyden raises an eyebrow and then lets out a restrained chuckle. Hear that, Addison? I might be suspected of foul play. Exciting, isn't it? Car, no antics. Please, just answer the question. Of course, well, I was right here. Just like I told Prince Panhard. As much as I love to celebrate my power, sometimes one has to celebrate the amount of work piling up on their desk. So your alibi is you were right here? Alibi, yes, I suppose. Yes, I suppose. Can anyone back up your story? Well, I did make a few business-related phone calls I was working, so there's that. It doesn't really answer my question, does it? He grabs me with a stare reserved for a troublesome child. Miss Sawinski, this right here is my private little fortress, a space specifically designed to make me focus. I don't really let people in to break that focus. Aside from the occasionally esteemed guests such as yourself, of course, and a few wonderful Mexican women responsible for cleaning duties. So you don't have an alibi. Look at his ice creams. Why won't you let me at least pretend to try and get on board with my program, kid? I suppose, but what would that matter? Because I found something that belongs to you on the victim's person. Pardon me? Took the words right out of my mouth. I'm not talking about a murder weapon or something like that caliber, of course. No, it's a short list of 4 names, unaffiliated kindred whose services could be useful to anyone interested in toppling the current power structure on NYC. Tamika, Hope, D'Angelo, Agathon. Excuse me, Miss Sawinski, but I'm afraid I don't follow. How is this something that belongs to me? And I have on good authority that it's a short list you've been shopping around to anyone who's interested here in New York City. Be it the Cameron or the Anarchs. Addison tensed up. His host is not happy about it. This is just preposterous. I'm calling your bluff right here, miss. No, the bluff is coming right now. Mr. Vanderweyden, if you want to voice concerns about the information I have, how about you voice them to Kaiser, not me? Addison turns to Vanderweyden, clenching his lips and gripping his wheelchair armrest tightly. For a brief moment, the ever-present smile on Vanderweyden's face goes missing, and the expression that replaces it reminds me of a horrifying void. Like a sneak peek into what's really going on in his soul, he quickly clicks himself, but the image is burned into my retinas. I think these sort of unsavory rumors are circling about me. I should be grateful to you let me know. So you're denying it? Of course I'm denying it, categorically. You can bet your life savings on it. Certainly hope it is nothing more than an unfortunate blunder. And too brute? Come on, Addison, we've known each other for years. Yes, and what about it? Well, sweet Jesus, Addison. I will get back to you in a second. Any more questions, Miss Sawinski? Any other names on the list sound familiar to you? No, I mean yes. That's my long estranged child on your list, but that's just another reason why I'm flabbergasted anyone would consider it mine. I see. Well, I hope you understand why I'm considering you as a prime suspect now. Yes. I swear to clear my name as soon as possible, Scout's honor. Any more questions? I'm good for now. Sheriff Alice Mommy will probably contact you later. I will get in touch with him myself ASAP. Once again, thank you for your work. He extends his hand toward me, practically forcing me to shake it. Then he puts his hand on my shoulder and leads me to the door, all too eager to see me off. I share your curiosity, Mr. Van der Weyden. I have one more question. It might seem a bit random. I really didn't need to ask it, but I wanted him to die inside for a moment. Of course, my dear. His slightly strained tone suggests I may have succeeded. You seem to like a person who couldn't live outside of New York City. By any chance, have you listened to Howard Stern's talk show about the World Trade Center fell? A tad unsure, but once again, carefully controlled chuckle escapes his mouth. Geez, that is random, but well, New York, born and raised, just like you said. Of course I did. Your opinion? Same as everyone else. Always spiritual guidance when we needed it that day. Come from the unlikeliest of places. A visceral response that verbalized everything we felt. A moment of beautiful unity. Not that I'm into lowbrow jokes about Pamela Anderson and the typical shock value that show tends to offer. But as far as I'm concerned, Howard did an indispensable thing that day. Why are you asking? No particular reason. I thought it might give me some insight into the kind of person you are. Well, that's the kind of person I am, just your average New Yorker, so it seems. Well then, I'll leave you and Mr. Payne to your plans of conquering the city. Conquering the... Now that's spicy, Addison. I love this girl. She's gonna go far, I'm telling you. She's got that spunk, that glint in her eye. Goodbye, Miss Sawinski. I wish you a pleasant respite and a swift success in your investigation. Good night. I'm making a point to bow to Addison's servant, not the man himself. Doubt that he knows, but at least these invisible displays of rebellion make me a little better about myself. Alright, the faster I leave, the better. Julia, father, how are you holding up? I'm fine, stumbling around and hoping for a miracle to happen like always. A better place to ask for a miracle than behind these gates, you know. So I hear. I pass on the report about Aisling and Agathan. I look around, but Benoit is nowhere to be seen. Finally, a one-on-one chat. Feels nice to be able to chat one-on-one for once. Ah, yes. I knew you'd say that. I had errands to run, and I thought it might be best if Benoit took care of these. Was in the mood for a childish spat tonight, huh? Something along those lines. Listen, can't you think of something to placate him? Placate him out, exactly. He won't accept anything less than me joining a covenant. He's like a word parent, a basic gesture here and there. Showing up in church from time to time and pretending to listen would get him off your case. I mean, I've been through the song and dance before with my own word parents when I was a teenager, wandering off in the forest until mass is over, not even being able to smoke because it would pick up the scent. One of the best moments of my life, you know, and part of the reason I'm distancing myself from them. I don't need that fake energy in my life, and I'm honestly weirded out by you asking me to lie. Not asking you to lie, Julia. Asking you, let me ask you this way. Are you a spiritual person? I guess I am, kind of. I always was. Suddenly, being able to see ghosts didn't change a thing. I think it's mostly because seeing the world as purely material just seemed boring to me somehow. You are, and we're raised Catholic, so you can't find a way to express that spirituality in your church. I don't see a way right now. And why's that? I sigh. Too many people who think my soul needs to be saved just because I live with a woman, for starters. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons. Like the sin of drinking blood every other night. of feeling some primal fear whenever I walk by clergymen whose faith seems to actually be genuine. That one sounds like an excuse. It's about your relationship with God, not other people, in theory. But back in the old country, I've heard my share of homilies that felt like complete condemnations of my kind. And none of that would condemn hate toward people like me. And you know, when church-adjacent people try to stir shit around your very existence every few months, some minimal support would be appreciated. Sorry, all you can count on is silent complicity. I get it. I know there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of undeserved hurt going around, but listen, I don't even want to talk about it. I fucking hate the tone I use when I talk about it. I sound preachier than those preachers, and my biggest dream is to not give a shit. But I remember things, like this story about a guy from my hometown, most macho guys around, with a jaw that you could sharpen a knife on. He became an actor in Warsaw, very successful, deservedly so. The capital might not be NYC, but it's just a big city. And big cities go to the head of bumpkins like us. In his case, it resulted in a dream of coming out to his parents. It was surrounded by all those stories of openly queer people, played one even. So he thought he had his chance of making it work. So he goes back to his town, tells everyone he's gonna live his truth. His dad, a ruling party adjacent businessman, curses him. His uncle takes him into the bushes and starts to destroy him physically. It's so bad he gets put in the ICU. His face and jaw get ruined for good. Fast forward a year or two, his career over, the guy is stuck in his parents' rustic house. With no other path to follow, he turns to God, who tells him to forgive his kin. Everything is fine. Angela Choir sing of divine mercy. A kind-looking priest talks about protecting our families. Man sits in the front row of the church, and disfigured, a smile on his face. That story alone didn't drive me away. One time, when I saw how blissful he was, I swear he was actually able to hear God whispering to him. He looked like a saint. It fucked me up so badly I left. I felt nauseated now. Maybe I'm still reeling from hearing about Carr and Jesse Montgomery. Now, if you could never talk about it again, that'd be great. I know I tend to sound like a loser who loves to pontificate about shit I can't change, but at least keeping trying to change myself. God damn it. I won't offer you empty platitudes, but I understand. I think I understand what was meant to understand. I hope I haven't insulted you in any way. Whatever. I learned not to hold people responsible for the rest of what the rest of their organization is doing. It was hard looking in the mirror otherwise. Not that there's much to see in the mirror right now. I'm just wondering one thing. There's always a cross on your chest. I like how it goes with my outfit. It's just a fashionable accessory to you. It's an important piece of outfit. Or a piece of outfit. Will that be all? Yes. Have a good night, Julia. Have a good night, Father. I find her sitting in bed, scrolling through Pinterest on her phone. So how are you doing, detective? I fall on the bed, bury my face in the pillows, and scream. That bad, huh? I don't know what to tell her about Double Spiral. I still have it and figure out how I feel about it. I'm just not cut out for this. Oh, shut up. If you aren't, who is? Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot, Columbo, Mads Mikkelsen's boyfriend from Hannibal. Whatever his name was, I don't know. Someone who can actually put two and two together. You can't fool me into believing you're incompetent, you dumbass. I've read your articles. Don't pretend you suddenly forgot how to do your job. I haven't, but I've got no evidence, no witnesses, no promising leads, nothing. I just stumble around assuming things, talking big, blah. So you're like, I don't know, Jack Nicholson in Chinatown, and he actually solved his case. And then wish he never took it up. Was that supposed to cheer me up? I'm just saying that the situation you're in sounds awful lot like Chinatown. Depraved elites, big city, plans for the city, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's depressing. It is what it is. I just think you should approach it this way and look for a solution to your problems outside the box. Not a simple mystery, but maybe like a trap to escape. Maybe. Maybe. Threw myself in the bed again and lie there for a bit, staring at the ceiling. Then I approached Dakota from behind and tugged her sleeve to draw her attention. Hey. Put the phone away. Now, come on, Jules. We can't do this every night. You got my own work. I need to worry about anemia. Said so yourself. Besides, I was looking for inspiration. I rub against her clothes with my face like a cat. You're impossible. Haven't you noticed what's going on in the news? People are absolutely insane about this virus. Canceling trips and orders and... Pretty please. I can't, honey. I had to replenish my stash, and besides... I'm worried about overuse. My brain is working a bit too slow. My balance is off. I was just thinking how I miss meditation. She's giving me clear signals that she just wants an excuse, and even though it would be the responsible thing to do, I know she's insatiable. She's usually the one to take the initiative. Let's try a final push. I bite her ear and whisper into it. No drugs tonight. Just do this raw. Throws her hands up in the air. Victory. Jesus, you're greedy these days. Always have been. Haven't you noticed? Oh, you're up early. I told you, got work to do. I stretch. That's admirable. Remind me to quote that. Reminds me of that one quote you always used to throw around. A lot of people say you can't smoke dope and get drunk when you got kids. And that's not true, you can. But you still gotta get up in the morning, that's being responsible. That's the one. I never understood why it was so hilarious to you. Neither did I just accepted the mystery and made it my personal credo. I'm a responsible person. Are you planning on to have kids? Not in a million years, by the way. You got mail. An envelope by the door. It's from Kadir. Inside is a message saying he won't be able to make it tonight. But we'll rendezvous tomorrow to meet D'Angelo. He wants me to lay low until then. Stay in this apartment if possible. Apparently, nobody knows where Tamika is. They only know that where she's in trouble, and she doesn't want me near. Well, what is it? Got the next lead to investigate. Looks like I need to hit the town. Next lead probably useless, but the investigation continues. We find a expensive night to get some time together, you know. Coda, you know this is important to me. I know. I'd like to know I'm important to you as well. That makes two of us. Just a few more days. I will find the killer, kick his ass, get a promotion, and we'll do something we've never done before. Like what? Good question. I'll think about something, but for now, catch up on your work. I need to get going. Fine. Good luck. Stay safe. You know it. This place is weirdly empty tonight. Ah, well. I'll have the usual. Like there's a big, what are we doing in this relationship talk coming if I don't change my ways. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised it hasn't already happened, but most of the time Dakota just has seemed happy enough just listening to the stories of my own life. If it's all boring and normal to me, it's exotic and engrossing to her. Guess I have that going for me. Oh well. I have no idea what to do tonight, so... Let's do the obvious thing and wing it. These vagabond shoes are longing to stay right through the heart of it, or whatever. Time to leave myself in these busy streets and pray that the answers I'm looking for are out there. And if they're not, maybe I'll find some amusement or blood at least. No, I don't want to be a part of your goddamn interview. Look, can I not see it? I don't know what the weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. The man who said it, Albert Einstein. Even he couldn't predict what we knew today. World War III is being fought using coughs and sneezes. We're in the middle of a biological battleground, and people don't want to wake up to this reality. self-righteous tone of some sensationalist journal hag roused me from a pleasant daydream. Even though our excellent investigative journalists have been reading along for years, dressed in an obnoxious, eye-catching two-piece, she stands out like a rubber duck against the surrounding drabness. Her timid cameraman dutifully follows her every mood, but his mind seems elsewhere at the moment. Good for you, buddy. So why don't we ask the average resident in New York City what they think? Excuse me, miss. She approaches me with a springer step. The cameraman can barely keep up. Jesus, can't they borrow anything else? Hey, miss, what's your opinion on China and its biological war against? Fuck off, assholes. Fuck off, assholes. Find some other idiot to pester. Oh, inappropriate language would make her look up for, I hope inappropriate language would make her look for an all-ages friendly interviewee. But I was wrong. Oh, this one's got attitude. Keep the hammer rolling, Mikey. Miss. Keep moving, but she dances around me, just really trying to stick her mic under my nose. How she keeps her balance in those high heels and at that speed remains a mystery. Try to stop the recording. You know you'll have to buy yourself a new camera if you don't get this one out of my face, right? Oh, I'm well aware how lefty college students like you react when they know they can't win using arguments, miss. I'm doing my best to avoid being recorded, but the cameraman is relentless. It's only a matter of time before he realizes that me being blurry is not a temporary glitch. Alright, keep it cool. Leave me alone, you smooth-brained lizard woman from hell. Not until Huff you talk to me, Puff, about China. Mikey, keep up with us. Why the hell is she so determined to get me? Maybe there's something about my style makes me look like the perfect strawman for a America-hating college kid she can try to destroy on camera. Miss, are you one of those China-living kids? Tiananmen apologists killing landlords with Mao. Is that your thing? Is that the little red book I spy in your pocket, huh? You know, let's feel my brain losing its wrinkles. I start to sort of understand why my dad could be so brainwashed by watching TV. You think China dropped a biological bomb on this country is not something you should care about. Is this how short-sighted you are, miss? Okay, at this point, I can't guarantee the camera footage doesn't violate the masquerade, so I might as well take drastic precautions to get rid of it. Plus, I can't stand being around her for a second longer. Yes! All of these are great. All of these are great. I want all of them. A large delivery truck zooming along the road plants an idea in my head. I narrow my eyes, sharpen my eyesight, and quietly beckon the shadows to silently pay witness to our little drama. Their presence swiftly becomes tangible to me, and the presence of light responding like limbs to be flexed. Feeling in control, I order the shadows to yank the camera out of the man's hand and throw it under the oncoming truck. It happens so swiftly, no one notices what has transpired. The camera lands on the road in time for the truck to run it over. The expensive equipment turns into a cloud of plastic debris, most of which is scattered in every direction. As I walk away, the furious scream of the interviewer makes me think they've given up on the memory card wherever it ended up. You people have dog brains. Prolonged frustration and a short euphoric rush at the end. Sounds like every journalism-related episode of my life. I don't ever want to go back. All of a sudden, the world ends. Everything stops and I'm lost in the darkness. There's not a heartbeat to guide me. It's like sleep paralysis, except it feels like I suddenly woke up from a reality instead of a dream. Instinctively, I react to it in the same way I used to react to it whenever I woke up in the middle of the night. Aware, but not able to speak or move. I just wait for it to pass, but instead of slowly regaining control, I feel bizarre emerge from the darkness. Just look at her, flesh refusing its fate. It is. It is not the only one you were looking for, is it? He was led like a lamb to slaughter, and as a sheep is silent before the shears, he did not open his mouth. There's none righteous, not even one where there is none who understands. Is none who seek for God. All have turned aside. Together they have become useless. If anyone curses his mother or father, he must be put to death. Raging waves of the sea, foaming up their own shame. Wandering stars, for whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. In those days men seek death and shall not find it. They desire to die and death shall flee from them. Whenever I become one with the darkness, there's always this nagging fear that it might become impossible to become the normal me again. In that instead of the shadow returning to normal, I will let my consciousness get dragged somewhere else, somewhere between the worlds. Somewhere like this, wherever this is. This is the first time that fear has become true. Are you afraid? The bad idea to answer, don't do it. Yes. Ha 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 ha. Excellent. 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 I think I need to sit in this chair. I think I need to sit this chair. Sit in this chair. I sit in the chair. Still in the lean years and unworthy to dream of joining the rest. However, the path is open, and the path of obligation is the path of obligation, liability, a debt that will be paid one day. And when she asks you what brought you here, let her response be the scent of death. Suddenly, I feel my mind beginning to drift away from here. I am slowly regaining control of my thoughts. No, you aren't. Yes, I am. Fine. Think whatever you want. I found myself in a dark corner leaning against a cold, wet brick wall. I think I'm conscious again, back from whatever it was, awake but in an unfamiliar place. Well, let's hope it's still New York City. I emerge from the shadows to see where I am, a source of light above my head momentarily blinding me, causing me to instinctively raise my hand. And I hit some sort of garbage bag with my hand. It falls to the floor, laying loose a metallic ding. What the fuck? A woman? I feel her hands grabbing my clothes. Brutally daggers me closer, but with one of my hands already covering my head, I raise the other. Easy peasy, I mean no harm. How long have you been here? I don't know. I've got no idea what I'm doing here. Or in general, really. It's like sometimes the force I control figure out how to control me. Or are you a junkie? No, you're kindred. Yeah. Keep your shit together, damn it. I'm Julius Sawinski. The representative of the La Sombra in New York City. Camarilla? I'm a Camarilla investigator. Well, if you came here to catch me, you're gonna be sorry you tried, Miss La Sombra. No. Stop right there. I wasn't ordered to catch anybody. I'm investigating Douglas Callahan's death. This surprised her. She loosens her grip slightly. Callahan is dead. Nothing left but a rotten carcass and a musty robe. Well, I'll be damned. I've been off the grid for far too long. What brought you here? A memory from a different world pops in my head. Yeah, I think I know the right answer. A scent of death. She rubs me, lets me go. I rub my eyes and finally get a look at her face. She's gorgeous, and judging by her nomadic clothes and a particularly fierce horse, she's probably an outlander. We'll have a talk, you and I. Here, what's your name? Tamika, pass me a soap, will ya? If only it could, my heart would skip a different beat right now. Tamika, I guess once again, someone out there has led me the proper path. Oh yeah, sure. When I pass her a cigarette, I realize I'm standing on something wet. Something that smells tasty. I look at my feet and I see a puddle of water mixed with blood. Oh, I get it. Were these guys First Light? The high-powered guns and expensive-looking outfits, flashbangs, tasers, all chosen specifically to combat the undead. I recognize that equipment from some horror stories I've heard. First Light, SI, USSOCOM. Whatever they call themselves, they all believe the same. Usually before they have a chance to, I have a chance to ask them a single question. Government-funded inquisitors. Some claim they're connected to the U.S. government. Others claim they're supported by the anti-kindred faction of the Holy See. Some have even wilder theories. You did this all by yourself? Have you seriously seen nothing? Nothing at all? I shake my head. Believe it or not, I have no idea how I got here. I just sort of let the shadows guide me. Is that all summer thing? I've never actually talked to any of you. No idea what you guys actually do. I'm still learning the ropes myself. I go with the flow and all of that. My embrace was just a few months ago. So, So you folks are with the Ivory Tower now. Last I checked, you were with the Sabat. Tammy's wouldn't forgive all the trouble you caused them overnight. Again, apparently still night. I just know there's a lot of bad blood between my clan and the others. And that I can fully expect one glare of pure contempt whenever I visit Elysium. I see. We spoke in silence for a short while. Is there a large SI presence in NYC? Is there a large SI presence in NYC? The Kindred are classified as terrorist presence. There's no other American city that was hit as hard by terrorism as this one. All secret agencies need symbolic victories. You do the math. And you're taking these guys on here of all places? As you can see all around you, they aren't extremely dangerous. Almost got me for good last year. Took me a few weeks to get back in action. And why are you doing this? These motherfuckers have an unfortunate tendency to hurt people I care about. My brothers, my sisters, I see. I don't know how it is in other cities, but here, funny enough, they only seem to target marginalized and radicalized kindred. Ones that could theoretically pose a threat to the current order. Meanwhile, the establishment in New York City hasn't really changed ever since Calibra stepped down. Quite the opposite. Every SA right in the city has only strengthened the old paradigm. Almost makes you think that their goal is something other than protecting the citizens from the blink body menace. Tamika throws her cigarette in the puddle, unfinished, crushed it at her heels. She obviously has difficulty smoking. It's like or maybe she just wanted an excuse to make her conversation less awkward, who knows? So are you planning on to snitch on me, Shadow Girl? And why would I do that? Let me get this straight. You think I am dumb enough to believe for one second that a camera investigator who just so happened to stumble upon an alley where I just killed a bunch of SI motherfuckers? If so, you're the one who's dumb, sister. Look, I need to show her I mean business. Like I showed Nastia yesterday. Look, I don't give two shits where you kill her ill one or a dozen or 1,000 SI operatives, whatever, do your thing. But I think you might have been involved in a murder that actually concerns me, Callahan's murder. What? What are you talking about? I found this on his body. Well, what remained of it. Show her the note, she grabs it to read it, but I won't let her. Except for your name, I got Hope, Agathon, and D'Angelo. You know them? Passingly. Any idea why Callahan would need a list of all of your names? Yeah, I might know why, yeah. Do you? Absolutely. Do you know a man going by the name of Torque? Huh, of course I do. Do you know about his connection to Boss Callahan and by proxy to the list and me? No, I'm all ears. Well, too bad, because it's classified intel, sister. What do you mean by classified? Not free. Oh great, as if I were in a position to, or could afford any sort of quid pro quo, but fine, let's hear it. What do you want? I've killed too many of these assholes. They're tightening the screws, and as it is, New York City is no longer safe for someone like me. Well, not let it ever was. Oh man, bracing for something unreasonable. What I need is a way out of the city. You offered that to me, and I'll give you the intel I need. Huh, would you look at that? That's something I can actually handle, yeah. She raises her eyebrow. That's a surprisingly common answer for a practically stolen nanite. That's something of an immigration officer. Gotta say, you sound awfully close to a cop. Almost as bad, a bureaucrat. I know a secret path that would lead you to the West Coast. 100% safe travel. If you took it, you'd be untraceable. Sounds good to be true. What's the catch? Wait until you see how much it costs. The reason I know about this route is because a certain Nazi criminal group reached out to me on account of my position and offered a mutually beneficial deal regarding a legal kindred travel. Normally I refuse, but they offered me the only thing that money can buy. That can buy me a lot of cash. Ah, fine then. Money's not an issue. Now that's something I never had a chance to say in earnest. Okay then. Okay. You should assist me first. You should assist me first, then we'll figure out how to transport you out of the city. Hell no. Is this really the extent of your negotiation skills? Why would you think this kind of line would work? I didn't. I just didn't think either of us trust each other enough to afford the benefit of the doubt. It's an impasse. That's true, let me think. She's lost in her thoughts for a moment, then speaks up. Have you met Torque before? In the course of your investigation or before? I wanted to, but on the dark side I only managed to meet Mia. You weren't keen on the idea of us meeting. Ah yes, Mia. Her expression betrays that she got into a vicious story to tell. But it would be a meaning to her to divulge them. Too bad, maybe it could be a bonding experience. Here's the thing, a few months ago, Torque and I were together. A lot of things happened. Long story short, no longer feel close to him. From what I know, he still feels close to me. Back when I thought there might be something between us, I gave him a ring that had some sentimental value to me. And since these days sentimentality is all that keeps me going, I want it back. So, my suggestion is, tell Torque's people I sent you to get inside of his bias of operations, meet up with him and ask your questions and convince him to give me my ring back. You get to interrogate him and then I get to have my ring back. And then you get, hear my side of the story. And then I get to leave the city without your help. Everyone wins more than once. They will let me in just because you tell them you sent me? They will, trust me. Sounds too easy. What caused you two to drift apart? Irreconcilable differences in motor. So I assume, but that's a diplomatic sir. I'm going to involve myself in a relationship drama between two ex-lovers. I need something more to go on. Will you? Yeah. Just fix your words very carefully. Realize that I had become an element of his carefully crafted projected image. Having me as a radical partner allowed him to present himself as a mediator while paying lip service to revolutionary ideas. A mediator, that's the 21st century for you. Everyone wants a middleman these days. Nobody wants to do what's right. You serious? Whenever I hear about Turk, it's from the Ancilla. Talk about him like he's the second coming of Mao. Have you ever seen that? It's only because from time to time people like me pushed him into doing an uneasy thing. Ever heard of the Southern Wolf and the Northern Fox? Both of them want to eat you for dinner, but only the Southern Wolf makes it immediately obvious. The tricky Northern Fox makes eyes and allows you to pet him before he takes a bite. Turk loves to surround himself with Northern Foxes. They talk of compromises. They seem reasonable compared to the opposition, but at the end of the day, they have eyes on the same prize, power. Hearing this gives me a foreboding feeling. I can't help knowing why. Alright. Tell me where to go, and I'll tell you where to meet later. Just chilling in Torque's. And when a sudden shrill, loud voice pierced my eardrum. What the hell are you doing here? Oh yeah, it's a pissy lady from Torque's Inner Circle. I'm here to see Torque. I'm here to see Torque. I figured as much. You should have gone through his security first. Get out. And what if he tells me to stay? Bad chance. Move your ass before I throw you out. I thought you'd be more open to cooperation after our last talk. Not when you're trying to make deals behind my back, bitch. Mia, it's okay. There he is, walking through the door, one of the most infamous New York City barons. Or as some people started calling him the moment Callahan met his end. The Baron of New York City. Torque, we talked about the sheet. The situation is a little bit different now. Tamika Center. What? Bullshit. I haven't been able to track her down in any weeks. Well, I did. And guess what? It took me one night, you clown. I had enough of bitchy henchwoman for a week, so I can't help but put her down. Shoots me a hateful look, but Torque gestures for her to stay quiet. There's no reason to celebrate, not get mad. Now, have you allowed us to a private conversation? No way, I want to keep an eye on her. You will keep an eye on the exit, and that will be enough, please. He puts on his best authoritative tone, and it works. No protest this time. Mia leaves the room. When talking to Mia, you mentioned cooperation. First, I've heard about it. I tried to make friends with her so that the investigation would go more smoothly. Looks like it wasn't appreciated. I'm sorry about her. She can be overzealous, but usually that's not a bad thing. Yeah, sure. So Shannon told her I've been trying to reach you for a few nights. I don't think so. Oh, have you? Well, I'm the dumbass the court ordered to investigate Callahan's final death. So considering your connection to the case, I thought it would be prudent for us to talk. Ah, so that's you. Yeah. Now I know you were probably encouraged to hear about Tamika. I'm surprised to hear you two knew each other. We actually met through this investigation anyway, as I was saying. I know you probably can't wait to hear about her, but I'd like to ask you some questions first. I understand, do your job. Do you know Douglas Callahan? Of course I did, we were both barons. He kept having professional obligations to meet each other, but that was it. What is your private opinion of him? Same as everyone else's, a racist clown mentally stuck in the 19th century who spent too much time keeping the anarchs down. I'm glad he's gone. You mean you're glad he met final death? Well, you know what they say, hate to see you go, but love to watch you leave. Weren't you the first kindred who saw his corpse? I was, but it was his ghost who found him. By the way, we have established that some of them tampered with the crime scene. They were properly disciplined for that. Convenient story, let's move on. What's your alibi for that night? None. I was running around town the entire night, taking care of various issues unrelated to Callahan. But I don't intend to divulge them to someone from the ivory tower. You have no interest in proving yourself innocent. My official position is made clear. It's the Camarilla who are to blame. It's your job to prove me wrong. Barack Mac. At least for once, I face a problem that can be solved with pure logic, not politics. Any findings on your side I should know of? Ask me if she's the one who handled the murder scene. I am not privy to all the details. Hope, D'Angelo, Angela, and Agathan. Any idea who these people are? Can't recall, sorry. As I found suggests a potential link between Callahan and Tamika. Any clue? I knew both of them well. And as far as I know, they're never met, that's it. Oh, well. Not sure what I expected. He's the kind of guy that could be only pushed to talk if I had something concrete to push him with. Time to move on. Well, regarding Tamika, finally, I'll cut straight to the chase. She wants to inform you that she will be skipping town for a while. That side is hot on her trail, and she needs to lose them ASAP. I'll report. Told her countless times if she's in danger, I will always be there for her. Does she think she can find a secure way out of the city in this situation? She's safe. So you say. She's got some other friends in high places. She's managed to get out. Damn it, that's not what I expected to hear. Or what I wanted to hear. Why did she decide to contact me? She wants her ring back. His aura changed in the blink of an eye. Ah, I see now. So that's why she didn't show up herself. When even faced me when delivering the final insult. Uh-oh. Looks like I stepped on a landmine. She said the ring was a symbol of trust she put in me. No way in hell I'm going to give it away. Not until she gives me a chance to explain myself. I need that ring to get Tamika to talk, but with the way he's acting, it doesn't seem like he'll be willing to part with it. It might require me to actually, but maybe time to change my approach. Lie, lie, lie through your teeth! Listen, this is not my business, but I think you got something wrong here. How exactly? She still loves you. Who? He's only died for a short moment. As honest, I hit him where it hurts. You said you just met her. How would you know? We fought a SI patrol together. That won me her trust. And then, I expected honest talk. Woman to woman. Glad Mia is away. If she was still in the room, I'd be far too embarrassed to let this shit escape my mouth, but Torx just nods, prompting me to go on. She's conflicted. She understands the painful realities of this world, but wants to hold on to her ideals. That's why it's hard for her to stay close to you. Even though deep down she resentfully respects your slow and steady work, she still wants to give her own approach a chance. Oh my god, what am I doing? Then why would she want the ring? To me, it's an obvious message. I was wrong to put my hopes in you. It's punishment. She wants it to remember you by, to have the symbol of those hopes near her. To remind her there's always another way. Look, I know this is hard for you, but you gotta give her time in the bit of the doubt. But pay dividends in the long run. Slowly make her realize her misconceptions might have been wrong. Ah, a realization slowly dawns on him. Oh my god, he's actually buying it. I'm dying inside. Takes the ring out of his inside pocket and passes it to me. Go, tell her I'll be waiting, and that my feelings haven't changed. Of course. Should Mia lead you out? No need, no need. I'll manage. As I leave, I feel self-conscious about the pace of my walk. I feel like I just got away with murder. If I realize what I said to Mia, she will probably see through my bullshit in an instant. Well. It'll be my problem at that point. Time to meet Tamika. I find her waiting for me in front of the Jewish Museum. How did it go? She raised her eyebrow and I put the golden finger into her palm. I'm quite surprised, to be honest. I didn't think you'd succeed. Turns out I'm a talented diplomat. From my experience, that usually means a liar. She looks at the ring with a gentle gaze, then stores it safely in her pocket. Or has he really changed? Who knows? I just met him for the first time in my life on life. Anyway, I've kept my end of the bargain, of course. It's time to keep mine. Last year, a certain fledgling appeared in the city and attempted to build a coterie. That list you found on Callahan, that's the list they've got. Ken tested each of us. They found themselves a deep shit. S.I. Kaiser, Sophie Langley, some shadow players manipulating everything behind the scenes, and then they disappeared. Kaiser, the name popped up once again. It can't be a coincidence. No one knows where or why. Doesn't matter. That happens when you punch way above your weight. Hope you're doing well, fine, despite all odds. In any case, Burke got involved. That's how I met him, actually. He got hurt, didn't want to say how, claimed it could be anyone who knew in danger. Whatever happened, it gave him the drive and desire for change. For 2 months, he was a beautiful kindred, plain and simple. But suddenly, something in him snapped overnight. His tone mellowed out. His action became timid. His language became more befitting of a political science student than a charismatic litigator. I assumed he met someone who made him an offer he couldn't refuse, but I had no idea who that was. And then one night, I followed him when he went out and saw him scheming at the docks of Callahan. When he came back, we had an argument. When he refused to explain himself, I knew I was on my way out. And that was that. I understand. Wish I'd known earlier that might have clarified the facts with him and learned something more. Never told me of all kindred. What makes you think he would have told you? You got a point, I suppose. Alright, thank you. Now it's my turn. Here's your way out. I point at the manhole below our feet. Here's the map of the sewers, follow the route, and then burn it. You'll be looking for a one-eyed Nosferatu wearing tactical gear. Tell him I sent you. Then give him the agreed-upon amount of money. What kind of route will I be taking, anyway? An armored van full of precious coffins. A man knows how to arrange them to allow for unnoticed extra cargo. Her face darkens. The circulatory system. What did you expect? The rich and powerful always get the blood they want, one way or another. At least tonight, one of their routes would be used for something good. She drops her shoulders in resignation and opens up the manhole cover. Fine. Remember, if this doesn't work, I'll be back at your doorstep with vengeance if that's the last thing I do. I'm sure it'll work out fine. Just beware of a giant albino ghoul alligator while you're down there. Tamika rolls her eyes. Sewer ghoul alligator. For your information, it's just a story in New York. Kindred tell the neonates to mess with them while they're still gullible enough to believe everything they hear about their new world. Well, that makes sense, I suppose. Well, this is a goodbye. If in a few months you hear that the First Lady's presence in Los Angeles has been decimated, assume that against all odds, I'm still alive and kicking. If you keep killing indiscriminately, you might cross a line of no return, you know. Shouldn't you take it easy for a while? Not until my brothers and sisters in blood stop being slaughtered. I care about what's left of my humanity, but turning a blind eye on kindred in need would be even less human. So that's the kind of person she is, and probably will be until the very end. It must be comforting in a way, to know how your path will end, yet to follow it all the same. I could never do that. Here's some parting advice to you. We might be monsters, but we're lucky enough to be born into a world that's even more monstrous than we are. If we rebel against it, we might find some salvation. Only I could believe it. Didn't expect a preaching tone. Why are you telling me this? Because I think I have pretty good nose for people's auras. When I look at you, I smell penchant for ruthless opportunism. I smell the possibility that you'll give into the fear of the dark visions of the future you conjured in your head. I smell controlling anger that might get out of hand if you get a whiff of power. I smell someone who doesn't value the truth much. It's not much, just a hunch, but you seem prone to giving in to the Camarillas' empty promises of safety and their petty bourgeois values. I think I should take offense to that. I hope you do. That would reflect well on you. In any case, whatever happens, see you in the next life, Julia. Safe travels, Tamika. Let's get visibly to tonight. Skip tonight. It's a visit to the church. Not in the mood to see you, Benoit, and I'm still embarrassed about yesterday's outburst. I'm kind of pissed none of the clan elders in Chicago bothered to reply to any of my fucking reports. No advice, no feedback, nothing. I feel like I was left utterly alone. Besides, it's late. I always get back to the apartment early in the morning, right before it gets bright. It's getting risky to be out this close to sunrise. Accidents can happen. I'll try to get back early tomorrow night. Attempt to surprise Dakota, yeah? I'm back. Yay! How's work all caught up? I managed to get my deadlines postponed. All our clients are canceling or delaying orders left and right. Huh, does that mean that you'll have some time to help me with my makeup tomorrow? We'll see. Perfect, alright. I need to support before the sun catches up with me. Hey. Yeah, I love you. Oh, an uneasy silence fills the room. I'm not getting out of this one, am I? Well, I've already come up with one love story tonight. What's another? I love you too. Quickly turn away, avoiding her sincere smile, and leave to rest. Finally, I reached Big Beat Burger, hoping to improve it from all the mental damage accumulated over the past few days. Only found the doors are locked and nobody's inside. No. I need to be soothed. I need my routine. That's you got to be fucking kidding me. Closed? What do you mean closed? I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Everything's closed. Pandemic? What pandemic? Do you live under a fucking rock? It's a new SARS virus, straight from China. The whole world's going crazy over it. People are dying left and right. Holy shit. I didn't know something like this could still happen in this day and age. Somehow it felt like we were beyond it. Well, I guess I'm lucky I'm dead. I walk away to avoid bringing more attention to myself. Now I understand why NYC feels downright apocalyptic tonight. It's a psychedelic experience to see these familiar streets empty and abandoned. Well, let's see what parts of the city are still alive in the middle of a plague. Hmm. Ba, 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 ba. An aristocratic taste. I entertained the thought of sneaking through a hospital to see how things appeared close up. Well, it looks like an actual war zone, so I decided against it. I don't know what I expected with the way healthcare reforms have been going in the state. Fewer facilities, employer areas, fewer beds, less funding. They're just reaping what they've sown. That's why I used to honestly consider going back to the old country. An American friend was like, "Why would you go back to that shithole?" He was shocked to learn that we have normal, free healthcare. Anyway, if an active small part hospital won't do, this one might. The smallpox hospital on Roosevelt Island, built to quarantine the poor and the unloved victims of pandemics away from normal citizens' eyes. In spite of its disrepair, or maybe partly because of it, architecture still manages to perfectly convey the building's painful history. There are ghosts here, but they're mostly the good metaphorical kind, not the kind I usually see. Looks like there also might be a lone physical being here. There's someone sneaking through the ruins. That's that for my peace and quiet. Oh well. I need to satiate my thirst anyway. I approach this person. I move close to intercept them. I wait behind the corner for a moment and then emerge when I hear steps nearby. Hi. Why? In her panic, she drops something on the floor. It breaks into 1,000 little pieces. God, don't scare me like that. I'm sorry. Look at what you made me do. She knows to pick up the piece of some ugly glass sculpture. The shape is familiar. Was that a Scrooge McDuck figurine? Yes, it was. Carl Barks' design. They stopped making these a decade ago. I don't even know how long it took for me to find it. I was really looking forward to decorating my haven with this. A Scrooge McDuck? It's pop art, okay? Haven, of course. That is what I couldn't put into words. I was feeling she might be kindred. She seemed airheaded and eccentric, and I wouldn't want to pick a fight with her. Call it a hunch. Apologies. My name is Julie. I'm a Summer representative for the city. Sound representative, you are. Absolute horrible first impression. Somehow I've never met before. You live here? I keep keeping myself to myself these nights. More time for my hobbies if you hide in secluded places like this. What's your name? Just call me Princess. Princess? My true name is for my friends only, and after destroying my treasure, I count you as a sworn enemy. When you at least expect it, I will find you and I will trap you in a reality of eternal pain. I should complain to the court, at least, honestly. Tell Helene to start looking for a replacement. So sorry, won't cut it, huh? Kadir would surely be thrilled to see Prince Helene assign me with a mission of finding a rare Scrooge McDuck statue, but I prefer to avoid that fate, even if it doesn't seem very likely. How can I make it up to you? Should I, search for a replacement online, or... whatever. I'm not gonna lie to you, I prefer not to stay mad for long. It's exhausting, and it's a threat to your beauty, both in and outward. So yeah, I'm gonna ask you for a small favor, and then we'll be square. I won't have to worry about becoming ugly. Sound good? What favor? See, I'm into super low art these days. That's why I collect stuff like Scrooge McDuck lamps. I used to be hardcore into high art before I studied the harmonic structure of box cantatas. Taught myself Arabic just to weep over Middle Eastern poetry. Read a lot of Joyce and Adorno, etc. Eventually, these hobbies get boring, as all things do, so I'm switching it up now. Comic books, heavy rock music, modern Hollywood movies, you know, stuff made for small children, basically. Problem is, I'm still not low enough. There's still too much mastery of the form. Too much restraint, too much respectability, too much tastefulness. I want to feel the rush of gazing into the soul of someone who's willing to admit to true degenerate desires and obsessions. Thank you for the hydrate. What was painful, a DJ? I mean, Digimon Love. So I want the lowest kind of art you can find. Just sweep me off my feet and we'll be good. Oh, not the kind of request I expected, but how low is too low? There's no such thing as too low. Oh, okay. Back when I was 11, I refused advances from a guy who lived just outside of Astoria. He definitely still owns some incredibly low art, but what exactly should I get her? I want to see where this goes. Okay, I'll be back in a jiffy. Takes me over an hour to get there, wake him up in the middle of the night, mess with his head a little, and get back with an appropriately low work of art. So, I've got something. Don't be shy, what is it? I passed her a DVD box with a busty hand-drawn lady licking a giant katana. According to the description you printed for me, this thing is named Mauricio no Daibokikin. The cover says Lilith's Carnal Carnival. Yeah, no idea why the name is written like that anyway. This 90s original video animation presents us with a tale of 5 big bosom samurai warriors traveling through America in search of General Hasta Vista, an incubus king. Don't let the titillation misguide you. The main draws here are peerless direction and nearly avant-garde editing rhythm and dialogue that clearly comments on traditional gender roles in anime. Once you see the animation in the final battle, you'll understand why it never fails to set Saguka's fans' heart ablaze. Note, Saguka, uncountable. In Japanese anime, a sequence of notably higher quality used to highlight a particular important scene. But yeah, it sure does sound like low art. Eyes down, I wait for a response. This is great! Is it? Yeah, I have no idea what I'm looking at. But I can just tell it's utterly degenerate and naked in its intention. Just what I needed. I love this. Believe me, I've had enough of art trying to dazzle me over and to try to step a stone in someone's illustrious career. I just want someone to be like, screw it. I don't want to impress anyone. I don't want to get anywhere. I just want to vomit out my soul for all the freaks like me to see. I think that in its own way might be the truest form of might be the ultimate form of art. So my debt repaid? I suppose. So can I know your name now? Let me think. No. She turns away and disappears into the night. Well, that was an interesting distraction for the malaise in the city. Suppose it's time I get back to the miserable business I've been saddled with. The time comes for me to meet with Kadir and hopefully D'Angelo, too. Last position on my list. This better be good. And this is D'Angelo's agency. Looks like a dump. Blah. Perfect for the plan of the hidden. I thought he wasn't hidden. I thought he was missing. And to be honest, I kinda expected the worst. Why would we look for him in the most obvious place? I've been asking around. I've gotten a hunch. Just trust and start looking. Fine. Who is D'Angelo anyway? He's a good man, a useful man. And it took me time to get used to him. Takes sleuthing very, very seriously. His thing is acting like a idiosyncratic noir detective. I heard it helps him cope with something, but I never felt comfortable tackling the subject. This doesn't sound too quirky by the city standards. Wait, what is that? It's around the floor, frozen in an unnatural position. Weird shit. Kick it! You get around a mob kick, it squeaks slightly but doesn't seem inclined to run away. Instead, it just stretches on the floor. Bizarre. Hey, don't do that. Don't do what? Don't pick on the little guy. I barely touched him. He'll be fine. Would you like it if I kicked you? Come on, are you telling me the sheriff of New York City, known as a fearsome and brutal executioner, is a sweet spot for animals? I do like animals, they're honest. It's quality a lot of my two-legged comrades lack. Well, excuse me. Takes a closer look at the rat. In any case, this little guy's behavior gives me an idea where our target might be hiding. Kadir slowly approaches the secluded corner of the room, and there it is. Kicks a pile of clothing lying on the floor. I'm just a corpse, leave me alone! Lucky for you, we're all corpses here, D'Angelo. You're among friends. Clumsily, drunkenly, the pile of clothes transforms into an unkempt man who, looks like he's suffering from some sort of skin disease. You know, a true friend would just bury me. Unlucky for you, we're not that kind of friends. Lucky, unlucky, schmucky, my ass. How did you guess where I was here? So I've been asking around for the past few days. What I've learned is that, for reasons that can be described as nebulous, you've made quite a few enemies since last year. Yeah, tell me something I don't know. The one thing that caught my interest is how everyone had it on good authority that your place was raided a few times without you being found, yet nobody assumed responsibility for these acts. Does this didn't always look like it was just raided? Can't blame anyone for making an educated assumption. An assumption that these might be more than rumors. See, it looks like a convenient coincidence that everyone who hears something that makes them look the other way. Coincidences are for fools. Well, you got my number, and you can see my ugly mug right in front of you, so they're not playing dumb, I suppose. Agreed. You spent all these weeks holed up in here. Your hunger not getting to you? I've got a lot of critters around here, and, we've become chums. Some of these rats actually got addicted to the kiss. They come to me every night, acting like coke heads, begging for it. Been getting them drunk just to get some rush out of it, feeding on them. Feels a bit like slathering a horrible burned piece of pizza in ketchup, but in this situation, I'll take what I can get, you dig? It's so gross, I fail to keep my poker face, he notices. So who's the dame? Julia Sawinski, a detective investigating Perrin Callahan's death. Here is head for short. Wow, to stare in Kadeo's eyes and feed him with a vulgar snicker. Phooey, so somebody finally put the old man on ice. Whoever did it did a world a huge favor. Absolutely, but I got orders to establish who that was. I've been selling in the dark for the past few days. We need your help. I'll be damned, your sleuth skills must not be up to par if you're begging a bum for help. It's an unusual case. How so? Extremely political. Phooey, I asked, how's it unusual? It feels like the game was rigged for me from the start. Like I'm just bumbling around and achieving nothing while everyone laughs behind my back. Geez, you sound hopeless, kiddo. Have you ever read a Chandler book? It's always that's how it is always. Just do your best, endure the embarrassment, and hope that you stumble on the answer by accident. You accidentally let a metal flask slip out and fall to the floor, then struggles to pick it back up. A deer can't bear to watch. God, what happened to you, Gianni? I've never seen you this low before. Stress-related disorders causing a disruption in my routine. It's what I think a shrink would say. Happens when a lot of shady folks are out to put a stake through you, though. Help us out. Tell us what you know, and we might be able to help you in return. Yeah, respect where it's due, miss. I think it's going to be the other way around. I ain't telling the two of you shit, pardon my French, until I know I can count on some protection. Gianni. Don't you Gianni me. Kadir Al-Swami, I know your level, but I also know that your honor is one of the few things you care about. You want me to endanger myself, you put it on the line for me. And that's it. That. You either promise to extend your protection to me, or the moment you step away from here, I sneak into the sewer, and that's the last time you'll ever see me. Kadir shoots me a weary sideways glance. I know. He drives a hard bargain. But for someone whose sense of self-worth doesn't exactly appear to be sky-high at the moment. Maybe, but I do value my own life quite a lot. Thank you thank you very much, friends. Kadir sighs. Alright, 3 months from now, or the moment Prince Tano tells you it's no longer possible for the court to offer you safety without compromising its principles, you're on your own. No negotiations, that's the only deal I can strike with you. Take it or leave it. D'Angelo scratches his head, grunts loudly, tugs on his mask, and stands up. That's Jake with me, big fella. I might have strong opinions about Panhard, but hell, I'm sitting on dynamite. I'll take what I can get. Who else in New York would you rather rely on? You want me to call the mayor? My opinions about the prince aren't that bad. So, what do you good folks want from me? Who wants you dead? Starting the interrogation with a tricky one. What do you like to know? Step up, Gianni. You seem to be forgetting about how quid pro quo works. Wouldn't you like to know? Won't cut it. What can I tell you? The warlock Agathon, or whatever his name, presumed dead. Tamika, MIA, and with the CIA SI on her back. So possibly KIA by now. Hope the kook, hidden in her office under Vander Vaden's skirt. Around the time they started having trouble, some rough-looking street-wise kindred started hanging out at my usual spots. Didn't take me long to connect the dots. Wait, what's the connection between you and those three? Ever since last year, folks started hiring us for various gigs. Some even trying to get us to join their coteries. All these opportunities were rather short-lived. However, the delicate tightrope act of working for various employers made us fully aware there's an intersect alliance in NYC. Here for both sides often work for the same goals without knowing it. When we started figuring it out, the cleanup crew went downtown. I know the serious warlock boy sniffed something out in his backyard and then poof, he disappeared. Then I lost all contact with Hope and Tamika and went AWOL. Hope they're doing fine, but they didn't snitch on me to anyone. They are, and they didn't even tell me you guys knew each other, so I think you're safe. Oh, wait a second. Why were you milking on for intel, kid, though? I found a list of 4 names on Callahan's remains. You'll probably guess what they were. I get the picture, yeah. Christ almighty. I heard it was just a list of freelancers, potential associates possibly prepared by Carter Vanderweyden. My money is on him being involved. That's a spell bullshit. Do you have any idea who might have done the boss in? Any more clues? None at all. That's where we want you to come in, friend. Investigate the murder scene the way you know how. Tell us what you think. Guide Julie in the proper direction. D'Angelo sizes me up, scratching his head. Sure, whatever. I'll do my best, kid. I'll lead the way. I'll drive you there. Or at least as close as possible. I wouldn't be welcome that deep in Antarctica. Just clean up yourself a bit, Gianni. I just had my upholstery cleaned earlier this week. After dropping us off at the same place as Catherine first introduced me to Mia, Kadir quickly drives away. And with that, we are calling the session for the night. Ride on and ride out, where I will. Now let me go find you a nice juicy raid to go to.